Welcome back, travelers, to the Heroes of Hearth-Gate. Today is our second episode. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started, we're just going to go around. We have not much to say because we're just starting, but does anyone have anything they want to toss out before we dive back into the world of chaos and madness and dice that is D&D?
We have merchandise coming. T-shirts, paintings, a bunch of other stuff that we're working on. So that will be here eventually.
Is that going to be on like that Patreon and stuff, or we're going to post the availability of that?
We'll probably make a website or outsource to a different website that actually sells like merch or like specializes in merch. So we'll figure it out.
In the description, but
yeah.
Okay, and since this is not when you're going to be watching it, but it is when we're recording it, May the 4th be with you.
It's not going to be until August. Anyways, thanks for watching. Come back later.
To watch more, right?
Alright, yes, to watch more.
Just come back and
I
don't
enjoyed
do anything.
No, go away.
We left off, we had a band of interesting characters who had met in a variety of interesting ways. We began with a young woman named Melissa entering into a town looking for help, and shortly after she had acquired 5, we'll say, acquaintances in various ways. As this small ragtag group came together, gathering information and understanding of what you're doing at all, you made your way around town for some light supplies, trying to figure out what your plan was. You ended up shopping at a place called the Family Grocer. You met a nice guy there. You ended up meeting in a secret back room with a butcher that Derelict had known. But at the end of it, there was some light conversation, getting to know each other, mostly trying to get Derelict out of the cage that he was in. That was fun. But we are going to begin today right as the group is leaving the Family Grocers. Right as, I believe, Sire had left to go on her own to a
She was
place.
just standing outside.
I think you were headed to the Temple of Daya, I believe.
That was later. She was just standing outside.
Outside. Okay, so while everyone is leaving the Family Grocers, the first thing that is evident is that the rain is letting up. The storm is maybe passing, or maybe this is just a brief bit of respite, or however you want to say it, before maybe more, or you're not really sure, as many of you aren't from the coast. As you are now standing back onto the cobbled stone streets, the rest of the city before you, I believe it's roughly about mid-afternoon. What do you do?
Sounds alright.
We polish off the onion that we had been eating.
Well, carrying lots of things. We need to find a place to go.
I don't have that many things, but okay.
What?
I think it would be best for us to get out of town.
Like right now?
Yes.
Well, let's
That's
get
what
a
your
cart.
friend said, right?
Yes, because it's me.
So that they are after you, whoever
We
these
are
people
us.
are.
You did break me out of a cage.
True. So you are a real criminal then?
Why do we get ourselves
I have a specific type of job that I specialize in. Currently it would be getting out of town.
That's quite the
Okay,
job.
okay,
you
what's
got.
it?
This is what I paid you for. So let's find cart and horse and leave.
Walking out of the store, you do now cross paths with Sire, who has been, I don't know, arms folded looking at the streets.
Leaning against the door, yeah. Kind
Against
of
the
looking up
door.
at the sky.
You know, immediately outside of the door is that canopy, so you'd be leaning on the post looking at the sky?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah.
Just for the rest of you to know where everyone is.
Cool.
So yeah. Are you ready to go? We're going now.
I'm ready to go all the time.
Yes.
Let's go.
Do you know where we can find a cart?
Would I know where we can find a cart?
I would say roll an intelligence check.
That's not gonna go well.
No.
Oh, wow.
Actually went pretty
16! That actually begs another question. Do I own a horse as a member of the Hand of Wrath?
Yeah.
I didn't think so. Thank you. Sorry. 16.
16. There are 2 stables. There is the more, you'd say, bare necessities one that's mostly the local town providing for the current regime of the Triad Reach, and that is simply the military training stables, or as it is called, commercial rental transport. But there is another stables which has a also boring name, but this one's more of the regular person can rent one and leave. This is near the Traveler's Gate, the place you had been before. It is called the Imperial Stables. However, it is not referring to the Triad Reach Empire, but the previous empire which had ruled this area before they had come in and conquered, and it is the Eladir Empire. So it's referring to that one. It's a bit older. The stable hands are like in the generations of raising horses and whatnot. They are also renters to like local horse racing events. So you don't know if they're ready for like long distance transport, but they have more options than the regular Imperial one.
Okay.
Sorry, the Triad Reach Imperial one. I made that confusing on purpose, and I confused myself.
Well, there's 2 stables in town. The one they have better trainers, and the other one they have limited options. But there's one by the gate, and there's the military one in town.
I think we just need something to get out of town.
I mean, I walk.
So do I, but...
As far as I know, we're going very long term, very far away. We need something that will last long.
Where are we going to find your family?
I just know we need to go to Oracle's Orchard.
Not if you want to find Needles, you don't.
Oh, where's Needles?
Needles is in Meladir.
Meladir? Where's Meladir?
You made them.
I know. I am
I'm just
looking
gonna
at
say.
it. I know exactly where it is.
broken.
That's on the way.
I'm done making jokes.
It's just on the way.
Well then,
Either way, it's a long journey.
Isn't that past through the forests? There are 2 forests beside it, are there not?
Yeah, but Corey, the road is safer.
I can
Not
take
for
us
me.
to the forest.
Not for you, but what about him? The 8-year-old.
We could predict him. He stays behind most of us anyway.
Uh-huh. How well does that work with a pack of wolves, Corey?
They won't bother us, the pack of wolves.
They might.
They won't.
You might be good. I don't know if you're that good, Corey.
I dare like to point of order real quick. You would know that the route in between the Broken Woods heading towards Meladir is like the official border, which has yet to be established and conquered by the Triad Reach, as opposed to the other Fel Cern's nations. So they have very strict border patrols where they just pass through just this regimented pass. I mean, they're not super formal, but every once in a while there is a random chance of encountering them in that open area.
Oh, and I'd probably want to avoid that. I'm with the Tiger Lady, as far as sticking to the woods.
She's a druid, dude.
I also have a name, not just a tiger.
Sorry. And that is...
Kore,
Kore.
yes. Derelict, yes. To refer to each other by our names now, thank you. Yes, I say that we go through the woods, though.
What about
Why?
those of us who don't have a name?
We were trying to figure that out, weren't we?
Your name's Wee. What's the problem?
Okay.
Goes back to
Going to accept
drawing
it,
in the
alright.
dirt.
But you don't have
Or the
names.
mud, actually, because it's been raining.
Yeah, if you're still under the canopy, there are dry spots, but I'm sure you would be able to do a little bit in between the more stone roadway, but as a produce stand, there's probably like a little bit of dust to push around. So, just little like mud sketches.
Either way, the stables are this way, and Sayre is going to start walking towards the Imperial one.
The Imperial one?
The Imperial
So,
stables.
The Old Empire one or the New Empire one? Old Empire is racehorses, New Empire is military horses.
New Empire.
Okay, so the New Empire is going to take you the path through either the market, the warehouse district, or the law district.
Warehouse district.
Okay, warehouse district. The warehouse district, is anyone else following?
I'm
Yes.
following.
Alright, the warehouse district houses several, I'd say, less exciting buildings. You're actually currently really close to it. The family grocer is on the edge of both the market and warehouse districts. It's a quick pass through. There's occasion like the shops are Nathavar's Artisan Goods, the Sojourneyman's Outfitters, Zoographer, and what's place referred to as the Assembly Building, which seems to be this large, massive thing that stretches out and connects to a small waterway which tributaries out into the actual bay that the old docks run off of, past the massive lighthouses you'd seen before. This one's at the edge of the city, so that this river doesn't really disturb through the regular commerce and lives of the town. But you can tell that the path it would be taking, where it's not covered, sort of where the wells throughout the city probably would be located. But as you guys approach the commercial rental transport, there are many soldiers standing about, but these are the ones in that traditional garb of the Triad Reach that you had encountered at the public event. That's right at the beginning of the last episode. They wear the crest of the triangle with the staff, the sword, and the hammer, Eden, Elvish, Dwarven, and Commons. You know that one. They're standing around, much more relaxed at this place than before. It's an open, like a sunroof sort of style stable with like some loosely thatched roofing over where the horses are staying. But there is a regular like bunkhouse attached to it.
Okay. Stables. Here they are.
Ren walks in, starts looking at the horses, seeing if he can find one that's like good.
Alright, as you enter into the stables, anyone following Ren?
I will go
I am
in.
going to go look for a cart and talk to a
We is
person.
going to stick with derelict.
And I would be following to go find the cart because I prefer to keep. He prefer to keep distance from the.
I'm going in with the
soldiers.
horses, so 3 and 3.
Alright, so I will take this half of the table first and then get to you guys in a second.
What's the
Alright.
best horse I find?
Alright, walking into the stables, there are a few people non-armored, mostly younger, walking around, and you notice pretty quickly that the only kinds of people in the stables are Dwarven and Elvish. There is a younger elf, as you would understand it through human relation. You guys don't understand, but the rest of you guys maybe late teens, sort of related. What?
I speak Elvish.
I was just
Sorry.
You speak
Sorry.
Elvish?
Sorry.
Ren speaks Elvish.
He's an elf. He's guiding a horse back into the stable. It seems a bit wet on the fur as if it was just outside being treated. The entrance into the stable seems commercial enough. It's just a simple open arched doorway with large barn, double doors kept open. But the small entryway runs parallel to all the stalls of the horses, and at the very end of it that doesn't connect to the bunkhouse, to the left side, there's an opening with a large pen where there's some horses being out exercised and trained. To the right is where it connects to the bunkhouse. There's lots of storage areas and some more people. There's a dwarf and a small anvil in the back just kind of buffing out and fixing some horseshoes, and there's another one trying to reattach it to a horse as they're just trying to piece things back together and get everything nice even though it's raining. Just regular stable handwork.
Alright. Am I able to tell which horse might be the best for long distance traveling?
Roll nature check.
Alright.
Do the horses have
That's
any reaction to seeing a cat person coming into
11.
the barn?
No, apparently 11.
Okay.
You're gonna want endurance over speed, so heavier shoulders, more sturdy hooves, that sort of thing. So less like a sprinter horse and more of a long distance horse.
Slender. I'm just kidding.
How many of those are there?
There's 2 or 3, but most of them seem to be in war horse condition, heavy armor, sort of sprint sort of stuff. They seem utilitarian, not really travel.
I would know that too.
Over a long distance is move and stay, not move and move and move and move.
Okay.
So I was going to lean over to Corey. Do you know what kind of a horse we're going to want?
A Clydesdale.
What's that?
It's a big horse. It's probably steady for a long journey, if that's what we're going for.
Ren walks over.
On a point. Are any of these Clydesdales?
Do they have any?
Those are mountain horses. This is a coastal city.
Cool.
Ren's walking over, and he's going to point to the horses that he saw that are armor. What about these kind?
Which ones are he pointing at?
Nearer to the bunkhouse, where the stable hands would stay, or whatever sort of building of commerce. Just the building, not the opening. There's 4 or 5 stable stalls that have horses in it right now, across from where the dwarves are fixing horseshoes and reattaching them. That's where you noticed those horses would be.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and inspect them then. Let's see which ones would probably work best for. How many are in our apparently a little party now? There's you, me, Saya
1, 2,
got 3, and then so 6 of
6.
us,
Yeah, 6 of
and
us.
big enough to pull a cart, right?
Yeah.
That would go. Okay,
Maybe
I'm
we'll want
gonna
2
2 horses,
if we're pulling a cart.
probably.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm
One
gonna.
could do it, but it would be hard on it.
That's true. I don't want to injure the animals.
No.
Wait a sec. How exactly are we gonna pay for these horses?
I'm glad
I have a
someone
little
brought
bit
that
of money. I don't know how much.
Yeah.
We're all
Hey,
looking for
like,
cars.
Behind you.
I mean, I feel like we're the ones with the money.
A quick clearing of the throat, just this. As you turn around, there is a much taller elf than the rest of you. He is easily half a head taller than Sire, which I think is the tallest of you three, or you're
No,
I'm 6'2".
I'm
He is
5'4".
taller than all of you guys by a bit, and he's got this
Shortest.
long black hair that's just kept straight at his back. It goes about mid-shoulder. He's wearing a very fine leather rider's jacket, and like hands behind his back, so you can't see, but he's wearing gloves. His jacket does split in the back. It's a rider's coattail sort of opening. He's wearing just regular it's just a simple rider's attire with a different kind of trouser and heavier stock shoe with spurs on the bottom of it. He looks at you always like, "What is your business in the stables? Are you here? Why are you here?"
For a horse. What else?
Or 2. We're looking for.
All right, for a horse can mean a variety of things.
We're looking for one for distance.
A long journey. We're trying to go on a trip out of town.
Oh, you're here to travel. All right, well,
Yes.
what terrain are you looking towards? And maybe I can help you show around the stables.
Forest.
Forest.
We should stick to the
If you're
road.
traveling through forest, perhaps not a horse is the best. If
The
you're going through
soldiers
fields,
patrol the
possibly.
road. It's safer.
What would you suggest for
We have
a
this
forest
store
then?
with
Well, the nearby forests have
Come
heavy undergrowth and
here.
foliage, making it difficult for horses to pass through.
What animal would you suggest to take then?
Your feet.
I can do that. I don't know about these guys.
Sire is laughing, actually.
I'm perfectly fine on my feet, but
I am
Me
too.
too.
we
That's
have
what I said.
we have multiple people in our party who are not.
You
Who
guys,
would prefer to be.
we're
You're not
going
there.
over
You're not
500
there.
miles.
I mean,
I know.
are you guys good to walk?
I'm fine walking.
Well, let's
I'm
walk.
trying to
You're
walk.
fine
But
walking.
what about the others? I think
The
that they would
problem-
want a little bit
the-
more cover,
The other three are
considering
much
there's a
more
cart.
city folk.
So
what?
you're here without your entire group.
They went to go find the cart.
They can pull
So
themselves.
you're going to send people going to get the cart without knowing how many horses are to pull it or how much supplies you're carrying.
You have, like,
We're open all day. You're welcome to come back with them. It seems you're not quite
We're
expert on
browsing
this.
right now.
All right, then.
Preliminary
let's-
inspection.
Alright, well then which road will you be planning on taking to, where are you headed? South, north, east?
South. We're definitely going south,
Going
and
north,
we'd
maybe.
probably take the road that walks along the border.
Along the border, alright, well. So you'll be you'll be passing through the Broken Wood?
Preferably no, but probably.
That's the border. The border runs through the Broken Wood.
Okay, yeah, then
Two
yeah.
halves of the Broken Wood, one
Yeah.
within the glorious reaches of the Triad Reach, and one within the Elydia Empire.
Yep.
Currently.
I thought it was actually down southeast of the Broken Wood, and then the other one is Melidier
Oh,
Forest.
Yeah, so like coming down this
Yeah, they're
way.
just the wood is
Like
just
that.
like
Got it.
split in half, and they've named it different.
Right.
Both sides, maybe.
No, he's talking about these two.
Oh,
The Broken Woods.
because we're here. And
Yeah.
we want to go
For
there.
those of you who can't see the maps, there's a segment of woods up north, and then there's a segment of woods, like Kyle said, southeast.
We'll put a picture of the map.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all.
Sorry for breaking character, guys.
Yeah, so
How dare
the
you.
Melidier Wood is what it's referred to by the people from there. Triad Reach referred to it as the Broken Wood.
All of it?
It has two names, yes.
Cool.
There are small sections of it which have its own independent name, like the the Oracle's Orchard and the Oracle's Grove are different parts of the Broken Wood, but that's kind of too small for this map to show. Without other important things like the map.
Yeah, so we'd be looking for horses for that journey.
Right, well, would you be looking to purchase, or is this a go and return trip for a rental fee?
Probably.
Do you think we're coming back?
Don't say anything. Probably a rental.
A A rental does require in-person returns based on who is signing the lease for said steeds.
What is
Absolutely
the
not
price
signing the
difference
lease.
between renting and buying?
Well, presuming the horse returns within its regular condition, or thereabouts just hired, it is roughly 1/3 of a purchasing price. However, we do have strict regiment and regulation on what counts and qualifies as in proper shape.
Would we be able to know what that is before?
Yes, there is
renting?
definitely a clause of contract before signing, which you'll be able to review.
Okay.
We're not
Good.
You just have to read the terms and conditions.
Gestures to the horses. These are the animals. Not us.
Yes. That okay. So how much would it be then to buy?
For a long distance, sturdy, more of a traveling companion, this is a 1,000 gold purchase.
Okay.
To buy?
That is to buy, and
And
then
renting is 1/3 of that, Corey.
But you don't want to come back to
300 gold.
So
Thank you for the information. We'll be back with our friends.
A horse is a lifetime purchase,
that is a good
Yeah.
point.
provided you know how to care for a horse, which we can teach you the basics.
I know how to care for animals
I've ridden horses.
We should go find our friends.
I've taken care of.
before I stick my foot
Why
in
do
my
you need to
mouth
buy a
again.
horse?
Not before
I
you
don't have
stick
one.
your foot in there, not before I stick my hair and anything good.
Why else would I be here? I turn and I walk out.
It was a lifetime purchase, but the horse
Forgive him, he's poor of temperament. We'll be back with our friends.
They're open until sundown.
Thank you.
Very
Good day.
to know.
Back to the other side of the table. As you guys are heading to find a cart, I would like you all to roll for you a survival check, and for the rest of you just a regular intelligence check to know your way around the city. For rogues, this is more of like a streetwise sort of thing.
Yep, that's an 8.
And
Just a
okay,
regular intelligence check.
Okay.
which is not going to be great for the current.
That's a 9.
Wow. 10?
That's a 14.
She's pulling out of nowhere.
All right, high or low?
That's true.
Hi.
For those of you who don't know the old mechanics, high or low is pretty basic. You'll figure it out.
Hi.
It is not.
Thank you.
All right, so as you guys wander about the city looking for places, you're gone for like 20 minutes walking around the streets, and you find several shops you think might be the place. There's a shop out at the docks, one that you're not really sure what it means, but there is the Vinters establishment. There's also the Contraband Warehouse, which has a large symbol to Triad Reach emblazoned on the door. There are several smithies that you could think maybe do like the metal work for carts, and you could probably ask about. There's the other stables you think you could ask, the guards barracks, and last but not least, the Sojourner's Outfitter. Sorry, the Sojourneyman's Outfitters, my bad.
So no
As
carpentry.
The Sojourneyman's Outfitters are pretty close to the Commerce Gate. There's no specific place that is like...
Bless you.
you. Buy carriages here, not with that survival check. That's not survival and intelligence.
Got it. So we
Because you just got here, and you just got here, got out, then got back.
yes.
Those who have spent time in the city didn't go anywhere.
We are wanderers.
You are effectively
Strangers in a
lost
strange
outside of
land.
a place called the Sojourneyman's Outfitter. Very much lost there.
I'm like not too inclined to go in because symbol of country.
The Sojourneyman's Outfitters does not have the symbol on it. The contraband place.
Oh, the
near
contraband.
docks does,
Okay,
yes.
I'm going to walk into this. Sojourn.
Sojourneyman's Outfitter?
Yep.
Before she walks in, I had something to say.
Oh,
Go for it.
cool.
Why did we need a cart?
Well, there's lots of
really
us.
need-
We have things, and it's long time.
But we have backs, no? Can we not carry our goods?
I-
We walked long time earlier.
Yeah. What? Why?
Well, we had to leave. We can't remember the name of the place. And go to another place. That was a long trip.
so vague.
So vague.
It would take much longer to walk the entire way, walk across country. It's long. I don't want to walk.
But good luck getting your horse and cart through the woods. If you'd like to take longer.
Do you want to just start walking now?
I'm kind of keen to get out of town.
We don't much like it here either.
Okay, you each have to carry your own things. If that's the case, I'm not carrying any of your stuff.
Like so, pointing at his own pack on his back.
Huh?
So,
Pointing at his pack.
Okay, well, I guess that's no business. And we are lost. So,
You hear the sound of sharp hooves, possibly like steel and stuff. Just and this, obviously a horse with that sound effect approaches you guys. And this horse has like a, instead of like a utilitarian saddle, it's more like a draped cloth, sort of like a decorative thing underneath the saddle, where the cloth is like red velvet with this kind of golden trim. On the base of it has this nice design with little bits of frill. It's sitting on the saddle of a horse with, a horse's like sort of half helmet sort of thing they have over the bridle of military horses. And like a heavier chest plate holding the gear together in the front of it is a soldier triad reach guard. In like a weird holster with almost like a flag pole at the back of it is this large like trident sticking up. And on his side, running across his back, about mid-back, resting on the saddle is a long kind of curved sword. The horse rider comes closer to you guys, and as he does, you can tell that he is very much human underneath the helmet. He's got a bit of like kind of brown but speckled with white and gray, and is unshaven, just a little bit of a beard. And he, what?
we're hiding behind Derelict and Balasa.
Good to know. And he approaches you guys, and looks down, and he's like, "You all look very lost. Do you need a hand?"
we are just looking for our companions.
Is that in like a general sense, like, whoa, we're looking for companionship, there's a tavern over there, or you actually have friends that you're trying to find?
People that we already know.
Well, where'd you say you were going to meet up? You appear lost. Could you do some help in the city?
Could you point us to a place we could get horses? They walked off without.
Sure, there's a place over by the Traveler's Gate that's called Trusty Steeds. It's a carriage rental facility. It's just that way.
Cool.
You just kind of due west of where you're at. You gotta cross through the market to get there. It's just, I'd say a block or two away from the Justicer's Courts.
Derelict just kind of nods and just starts walking.
Alright, well, good day to you too.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. And he just kind of clops away.
Yep. This is going to be a long journey. It's over a month. It's going
Which
to be
is
a long
why we
time.
should get a good start, no?
I guess. I don't want to walk.
The carpet. So are you guys heading? You guys heading to the Trusty Steeds?
Yeah, that's not where we went, I think, the first time, but we'll go there.
Which is by the gate, right?
By the gate you guys came in from, yes.
Cool.
So it's just down the way is a bit. Like if you come in from the Traveler's Gate, which you had earlier, and just hang a left and go straight before you get to the more residential areas, there is 2 shops and then that massive round building just adjacent.
We're just going to.
Yeah, so we head to the. At least Derelict heads to the shop.
The streets are less crowded by far right now. The rain is clearing up. The general hubbub of the morning's activities, we'll say, has very much died down. People are back in their shops, either working or preparing, or people are loading boats, which is on the other side of the city. But it's a good walk. It takes a while as you guys pass through. Which route would you like to take? Past the gated sort of manor estate sort of area, or through the markets?
Probably through the markets.
Anything you guys want to look at while you're going through there, or just head straight there?
It says right there.
Yeah, I don't have anything I need.
And there's a lot of people that are heckling you for things, like mostly
This is the
fish
most
products. Occasionally there's a person with like, there is, have fresh ones, finally, and stuff like that. You make it through, you only have to go through about the first leg of the market street until you do start walking towards a larger area that seems a bit more empty as it leads into smaller houses and housing district. That part of the city seems to be going away from the actual coast and more of the inland as the landscape gets a little bit more hilly, a little more round with some ups and downs, as Felsterns is known for its rounder sounds and hills and things like that. Before you get to that, though, you do find a small shop with a large, almost like medieval garage, which is this large canopy roof with several posts with little bits of like chicken wire and fencing between these wooden posts, and inside are various carts, like hand carts, larger ones. You've got palanquins, just a variety of all sorts of carts. And the main storefront side of it is open, and above it does say, as the guard had let you know, Trusty Steeds Cart Emporium / impound.
Oh my.
Cart impound. You guys going in? Or you want to say anything before you?
In the process of walking, I turned to the boy. So, why don't you have name? Names are important.
Well-
Important.
When did you get your name?
When I was born.
Oh,
And, I mean, lots of names are
we don't remember that.
significant. And, I mean, not most people don't remember when they were born.
Then how you know your name?
Because my parents gave it to me, and I had people who knew my name and called me my name.
Oh.
I mean, I don't like my name, but that's fine. That's why I have name. My name. Yeah. Mhm.
Well, we had a mom and dad.
You
Oh.
had?
We don't really remember where they went. We just remember we woke up and no one else was there.
What do you mean? Where were you when parents left?
We don't know. It was a dark room. We were very familiar with that place. Where was that place? Where we had that. We had lived there for a while. We don't know how long though. And then when we got out of the room, which we weren't supposed to be in, Mom usually gets really mad if we went into that room. We left and there was just no one there. Alta was gone. Baracus was gone. Mom and Dad were gone. Just socks.
Sucks.
And food. And onions. And potatoes. We like onions.
I noticed.
And then when we ran out of food, we left.
So you just walked out of room one day and everyone was gone.
Yeah. We don't...
And you don't know why?
We know there was stuff before that. But neither of us can really remember.
So strange. I'm so sad, Boyd. Your parents left you. Parents shouldn't leave children. It's sad. But why are you all the way here?
Well...
Do you think your parents are here? Are you looking for parents?
Well, yes. We left because there was no food, and we were hungry. And then we left because people were mad. And then we got on a boat, and we arrived here. I mean, we've always kind of wondered where everybody went and why they were gone, but we were just kind of surviving.
Survive. That's what you have to do. It's a shame on your parents. What they did was terrible. Or what they lacked in did is terrible. And I guess we're at the place. I'm not walking in. It's pointless to walk in now.
Right, you guys are now at it. the Trusty Steeds Emporium and Impound. You have now arrived. You're staying outside. What the rest of you guys doing?
Just walking outside. So, do you miss your parents?
Yes, but we can't really remember what they looked like or what it was like when we were there.
How old were you? Do you know how age works?
No.
Do you know years? Is it
No.
time, month, day? Oh boy, child, you need teaching.
We were about half our size.
half your size. That's very 4, 5. You were about 3.
Why are you saying numbers?
2, take it or
Yeah,
leave
like you going inside, chatting outside.
Well, because he'd been trying to catch up with these guys, so this is the wrong shop.
So you guys went to which shop?
No, we went here. We didn't see them, so we're like, dang it, that was the wrong place.
So now you're
Yeah.
going back to the family
go.
grocer.
We're just
They-
looking, I'm assuming for
Alright, so
been
while you were wandering,
established.
we're gonna come back to you guys. Back at the stables, you have left, exited from the stables, and now what do you do?
I just realized I don't think we told them where to meet us.
Well, they just left. We were all walking together, and then they took off.
I thought we could tell each other exactly where we're
Around the
going
corner
and
of
what is happening because
the
I
pod, I
get
guess.
so confused with everything that goes on with
Let's
all of you
just leave
people. Barely
Because none
still
of us
know.
know each other.
Let's just go.
I mean,
What did we just
good.
go back to the grocery store, the place where there was only food? I'm sure that
I
they'll
don't
go back
like
there.
that store.
I know you don't like that, so that's why you didn't go in. But we
I
can go
did
back
go
and
in.
they can.
Protein shakes.
Why didn't you like the grocery store?
I don't like the grocery store. Don't ask. Jeez.
Okay, sorry I asked.
Do you not like food or
I
something?
don't like the grocery store. Jeez.
This is an interesting.
Chill, Corey.
I don't know where the people are that we're supposed to be traveling with. Don't call them friends yet because I still don't know them. But I think we need to go find them
Do I
again.
see
I
any
think
don't-
you need to
guards?
calm down.
There are a few walking here and there. As you guys are exiting the stables, you went to the New Empire one?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are nearer to the Commerce Gate as you pass through the warehouse district and on like the opposite side of the marketing district that they had crossed.
Yeah.
So you can see like the ocean in the distance as the town has slants down towards the coast. And there are plenty of guards near the Commerce Gate. Lots of like carts coming in and being checked and like slightly searched depending on their goods. Guards will like come up and ask like what kind of commerce they're here for, the name of the stores, blah blah blah. Mostly just like a little customs check as it were.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna walk up to the nearest one.
Alright. The nearest guard is a shorter, heftier dwarven guard. The helmet is off and it's like set on the table next to him, as is like this just utility warhammer next to it. He's standing near a table that's close to their like guard tower, which is connected to the gate, and it's just a simple single arch gate. It's 2 towers on the end of it, keeping it together. You see there's several guards outside the front. Some are searching a cart right now. It's just full of what looks like fresh produce. A very thin, gray-skinned humanoid man is sitting at the top of the cart talking to another guard, and this dwarven guy is just kind of watching, just checking, make sure stuff's coming. He looks over, sees you, he's like,
Hey.
"Hey,
Could you point us to a place to get a carriage or a cart nearby?
Let's see, I don't usually get past my post, but I know the other gate's got a place. It's I don't remember. It turns like, hey, Feder! And like across the gate is another dwarf, very similar. He's like, what? He's like, hey, is there any place that these folks can get a cart? Yeah, it's over by the other gate. It's the impound. Thanks! Yeah, it's by the other gate. It's called the impound. Something
Sweet.
Steeds impound.
Alright. Thanks, man.
No problem. Thanks, Fedor! You're welcome.
I'm
So
gonna
hard for them
walk
to
back
just
to
wait.
these
Yeah.
guys.
I was thinking the
So,
same thing.
you probably heard the dwarf saying
Oh, loud and clear.
they
Yes.
probably went to this impound place to get a cart. They were saying they wanted to do that, right? That's why they walked off?
Yes,
or am I
that is why
wrong?
they walked off. I guess we could go check if they're there, but
I
They
mean,
don't
I-
sell
I'm just
people there,
looking
they
at
sell
you.
carts. Oh, you're not talking to me.
Nope, nope.
thank you for your input.
So should we head there or should we head back to the grocer? I don't like grocer. Let's head to the impound.
Since you don't
That's my vote.
food or something, we can go
I
to.
love food. Don't start spreading that rumor.
I don't think he liked the
Yaruma.
person working there.
She.
She.
Thank you very
My
much.
bad. That was my bad. That was Jaren's bad.
With the
Okay.
certain physique and armor sets, it could be confused.
Sorry, I thought you were a dude.
Red doesn't hang around with buff people, though.
No, he doesn't.
Sarah starts
Yes, lanky.
Family are
idly
elves.
twirling her lance. Let's
Okay.
go.
Ren doesn't look intimidated
Well,
at all.
let's
He's
go
just like,
to wherever they were then. Maybe we
Sarah
can
starts
find
walking
them.
towards the other gate.
Alright,
You
as
two
you guys are headed that way, are you going to cross near the upper echelon district or just through the rest of the marketing district?
through the marketing district.
Yeah.
Sayer does not like hoity-toity people.
I was about to ask, is
Time
that
to
part
take
of the...
travel there, and you guys traveling from there, you just...
I was gonna ask if that
Going
was
to
cross
cross
This is going to be the
It
cage
sounds like
incident of
hoity-toity
this episode. We're going to be in town all day trying to fight each other. We just can't.
I don't tell you guys what to do.
That's true.
So as you now approach a place, you're looking around a lot of shops. You see another stables, the old Empire stables, the more like the racing and like localized stuff. And just down the street from it, past a couple of like woodworkers stands, there is a place which is titled the Trusty Steeds Emporium and Impound. And you're like, ah, there it is.
Impound.
Doors are open.
That's the
It's
place.
a large
Where
kind
we're
of
going?
caged pavilion to the side of it with all sorts of different carts are there to just like from your visual perspective just to the left of the building.
Oh, good. I wonder if they made a deal or something
There's
for a
camera.
cut.
I mean, do you see them? Do I see
Do
them?
we see them?
Do I see them?
I'm gonna go up to
I
one of
don't
the workers.
see any of our
and say,
colorful friends.
Hey, did you see?
You have to
like-
walk inside the shop.
Okay, I walk
There's no one
inside.
outside of it.
I walk inside.
Right, inside the shop there is just like this immediate bar, like this table thing separating you. You have about 7 feet inside the shop that's just closed off by this table. There's a little end of it that's not connected, so it's like a little turnstile part for a person. And behind it, it looks like a carpenter shop. There's a desk the opposite corner of where the entranceway to the table is, which has this large ledger of like little tabbed pages and looks like names scrawled in. And you can see that on a chair, this like little gnome guy is balancing on a set of like books, reaching up to a shelf, trying to get this small wooden mallet. He's almost got his fingers on it. Looks over to you guys like, what?
I wanted to sneak up behind him so he just saw me and.
You walk into the door.
Yeah, but quietly and just show up behind him and just wait for him to notice me.
He looks though. He's like, 1 minute.
I'm
He
waiting
doesn't know how
next to
close
him.
you are, though.
He picks it up. And he, like wobbles for a second. Like, stops.
How tall are the book stack right now?
So there's like a table. So there's a chair he's standing on, standard chair height, and then the books are about twice that height, and then him standing up trying to get something from the top shelf.
I'm gonna just once he grabs it, I'm gonna put
From
him down.
what? You're gonna cross the table where you're not allowed to go?
Oh, I thought he was outside the table.
No,
No,
he's
I'll just
inside.
wait.
He's inside in the little carpentry shop. There's lots of tools going on. Off to one side of the table is a large, looks like a spinning apparatus with this little claw sort of thing of metal and wood holding together a piece. There's a small metal bar that runs parallel to it and a set of chisels to the side. There's also a couple saws in the back and some drilling apparatus as well. And so he comes down with a small mallet, and there's tables with like scraps and pieces, and walks up, and you can see his head slowly shrink behind the desk, and then all of a sudden just come back level. So he's like, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, I just need to know. Did you see a weird group of 3 people pass by here? Yeah, there's a walking rug, a real sketchy dude, and like a small child.
Is this a joke?
No,
He leans on the table.
Okay, the walking rug. She just wears a lot of like
walking rug, a
coats.
sketchy person, and
And-
a child.
Why? You
All
say a
walking
person in a
rug.
coat.
Because she's got like a lot of coats, and you would
Whatever.
easily mistake her for a rug.
Tavern.
I haven't seen anyone that I've mistaken for, interior design implements. But I'll let you know if I do.
Corey walks in.
I
Oh!
have an idea.
Is she one of the ones you're looking for?
Wait, I didn't catch that.
Is she one of the ones you're looking for?
She's with me right now.
Then no!
You know, like a throwback.
Well, thank you anyway.
Did you ask them where our friends went?
Are you guys just here for information or are you here to buy? We've got plenty of discount carts. All the stuff that comes in illegally, we impound here and resell it to the people. And you see this human walk in through a back door you hadn't noticed. It's like this alcove thing. He walks in. He's like mid-stock sort of strength, larger arms, and like a thicker neck. He's clean-shaven, short hair. He's got like a woodturner smock on, just like a long apron which goes all the way around the body. He's got bits of like, dust patterns over little pieces of wood chip on, and a small pocket in the front has like gloves and like a measuring ruler and tiny little knives sort of things, and wooden pencils, long and flat with bits of charcoal stuffed inside. He walks up, sort of passes his arms, and he's like, "You folks being helped?"
Yeah.
Yes, so we're looking for some people who might have passed in.
Like, you being cut off mid-sentence, the little guy turns around and is like, Arvar, these guys are looking for stuff. People, I think.
That-
Oh, okay, you can let
That's the
them
first thing
talk
is-
for themselves. Okay. He kind of like moves to the side, but you can tell he can't like walk away.
Yes, I'm sure that
Could
you
it-
just asked.
They didn't see anybody.
How did you describe them?
A walking rug, a sketchy dude, and a kid.
That is very
That's-
specific.
That's who they are.
Right. Okay. Well, yes, our friends
in the
passed
store.
by. Maybe your friend said that he did not see them, but did maybe you see this colorful group of people?
No, I've
Come
been
by.
tending in the inbound all day, making sure the rain doesn't warp anything.
Yes.
I didn't see anything. Resikner, did you? No, I just told him no. No, so I got, and he like picks his ear, and like this little puff of dust comes out of his ear.
Something
Sorry.
actually got in my eye.
It's been a
I was like, ah!
dexterity save.
No.
No, I haven't seen or heard anything really. There was a bit of a crowd coming in for the in the morning, but died down pretty quick.
Okay. Well, on that note, then the other business that we have, if we're still getting a cart, what are the prices for the carts that you said?
I believe Resikner does the books and stuff. We got various sizes. Resikner is like, yeah, so we got stuff for single, like, transport of goods. We've got carriages. We've got from 2 to about 4 people, mostly. We've got 2 6-passenger ones. Some that can be pulled by 1 horse. The 6 passengers need 2 to 3 or 4 if you have them. But they're in good condition, I'd say. Arvor. Yeah, we keep them good. You know, we're not master craftsmen, but we're good at upkeep, so this should be fine.
Okay. So how much does the 2-person cart run?
Well, it depends. Are you looking for a covered,
What? But if there's no, not
uncovered,
really.
1 horse,
Uncovered
2
is
horse?
fine.
These things all matter on the price range.
Probably 1 horse not covered.
1 horse not covered. What'd you say your name was again?
My name is Kore.
Okay, and he pulls up like this small board with his little nails driven in it and a bunch of names. He's like, "You are on our official discount list."
I've never been here in my life.
Well, let's
You
not
had
tell him
the
that.
lid.
We're funded by the city. They give us this list every week.
Apparently they get discounts.
For a single person cart, I would run you about 50 to 100 silver, depending on the condition you're looking for.
That's not as bad as trying to buy a horse,
Not
but
as bad, but still pretty
Well,
expensive.
if you're trying to buy a horse, it is a living thing that needs to eat. The cart, you can just put a nail in it and
Wait.
it's fine.
didn't
The
know that
horse
you
does
actually
not work
had
that way.
You're a druid, you can turn into a
The
horse.
nail goes
Hey!
in the earth.
I
Are
am
they in
not a
there?
pack mule, though.
I'm not saying you are, but it would save us a lot of money.
So, yes. As
I'm not
Sire
speaking
just shouted
to you
from
now.
outside.
Is what?
Sire shouted from outside, "Hey, are they in there?"
No, but they have good prices on carts.
Who are you talking to?
There's another person outside.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
raining!
speaking to
Is it still
anyone.
raining out there? Is it still raining out there? You hear this little, like, tiny voice. Is it still raining out there? A little bit.
No!
Oh, good. Then we'll only have to apply just another layer of lacquer there, Arvor. He's like, I've already applied it. I'm gonna go polish it in a second. And he goes over this barrel and pulls out a couple rags. The barrel uncovered. Puts like 2 of them over his shoulder and grabs this block of wood. It seems to be like super rough on one side. Just this thin layer of parchment, just incredibly grizzled. He kind of brushes it off on his smock. Bits of dust kind of also come off, and he's like, "Okay, I'll be in the back. If they're purchasing, let me know. I'll wheel out front." And he goes back to the door.
Runs gonna
While
walk
they're
outside.
talking to them, I'm looking for any sign of these 3 guards who might know.
Okay. No guards are passing by at this point, but there's like a small, just trickle people walking from buildings. You see, the rain is letting up. People come out with like laundry and putting them on lines between buildings, or setting up lines and setting it. Usually, some are walking with barrels to a nearby well, trying to fill them up, or just simple buckets. It's regular life. One second.
Ren's gonna walk outside and help use his ranger skills to see if he can track him.
Alright, the opposite of your favorite terrain. Cora, you're still in the building?
Yeah. Let's see here. So, and that was with the discount too?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Good
Well,
math.
I'm glad. Because you take care of the numbers and the money and everything, but...
Yeah, it's more of like that one came first, but sure.
Okay. Well, the reason for us asking about our compatriots, whatever they are,
Those two guys? Oh no, the rug!
you
Sorry,
can
it's the
call
one
her
that I
that, I
remember.
guess.
It really stands out when
It-
someone says, keep your eye out for a walking
You know, she
rug.
does wear a lot of layers, and I don't really know why, because it's not that cold.
What is it, night?
That's good to know, actually. But we will come back with our companions if they think it is a good purchase. We'll go
Remember,
with
we
them.
are city run, so we close about 2 hours before sunset, so you got about, it looks like towards a window.
I
2
don't know
hours.
to- Okay. 2 hours. I'm sure we
2
will find
hours.
them in that time.
Here.
Thank you for your time. I walk outside.
And he kind of goes down his little steps and heads back to the chair, balancing himself on the books and reaching back up on the shelf that he can't see, like slapping it with his hand, trying to find it.
She
You don't.
just kind of watches as she goes up the door like, strange little man. Okay, and she's back out with Ren and Sayer. Well, it's not terribly expensive. It's not as expensive as, again, I said, the horse. You do know that I can only transform into animals for a certain amount of time, right?
Then we set up camp.
Size.
Are you suggesting that we use Kore as a pack animal?
No, not
Not a beast
use.
of burden.
Not use. It just
What's the
saves
matter with you?
Save us a lot of money. What's the matter with you?
Well,
You can't use a person.
you know, us
She's a
just
druid. She
walking
can
would save us a
transform
lot of money
animals.
too.
Oh, and you're just an elf.
I can't transform into animals.
Quite frankly, she's more impressive.
What did I do? I'm just trying to save us some money.
You know, this could all be avoided if all of us just walked, which I think all of us agreed we would be totally fine with. We just have to find the others.
Every time I transition, you guys are bickering, so here we go. As you guys sit there in the rain trying to figure out what to do. Or
just us three.
the light bit of what's left of the rain. Small, just
Still the
occasional
same
droplets now. It's like you're
difficulties,
walking, like,
sorry.
oh, it's just windy today, and you feel like that one cold spot that hits you right
Just
in the
trying to
hair
help.
parts in the back. So that's kind of what's left of the rain. But you guys went back to where? The original shop, the grocers, or where?
We just were walking to a market, right? Yeah, so where do we find ourselves now at this
Alright,
point?
as you guys are just trolling around the market, there are several buildings that would have caught your interest. There's a like disrepaired armory, sort of blacksmithy sort of thing, and it's known as the Nail and Anvil. There's a couple like leather treating places, one called Leathercraft by Bjornen. I'm pretty sure you passed that before. You find a tavern near the edge of the market district as you enter back in. It is called the Tri-Cornered Mug. Has a picture of like a boat holding a mug. The arm is coming from the other side of the boat in its perspective, so you don't know how it attaches to it, but there it is. There are a couple other things. The Keep Furnishing store, that's all it says. Keep Furnishing. No idea what it means. There's a geology shop, Erkinson Geology, a couple other places, as well as near the middle of the market is a larger like stone building, which is completely out of just this white and gray marbled structure. It's clearly more important than like all the other ones, or well funded. It seems completely out of place in this street of just bizarre and open source marketing. There's a symbol in like a stained glass sort of circular window above a pair of doors where one is closed and one is open. There are several marble pillars holding up a triangular sort of roof, and the symbol is a pair of hands clasped, like just the hand and a little bit into the forearm where it's cut off by the circle. Those are the things of interest in this part of town. Oh, as well as a building that says Waste Management.
Can I
For some reason.
take a view of the people and kind of the area? Is there a dry spot of ground? How many people are around?
Sure, it's It's like a weekday at the mall. There's like 5 or 6 people walking around, and small groups are alone. The Felsterns is predominantly the home of the half races. In this town, you notice mostly like half elf and halfling, or regular human or elf. The occasional dwarf is out walking, but usually you see dwarves like in the shops, same with gnomes. And there's one half orc just walking about, and he has this massive broadsword strapped to his back. He has loose bits of metal rounded armor on the shoulders, the elbows, and like the knees. He's wearing these metal boots. And he has this sort of half cape. It's half and tattered. Like it looks like it would have once been a full one, but it's been ripped and torn, and now it's just this straight cape to about half of his shoulders, and then just this quick cut to one side. So like a weird sort of triangle connected to a square sort of deal. And he's walking about, just looking around.
Okay. Derelict, I'm going to create spectacle. You should probably back away.
Wait, why?
Because we can't find companions, and I'm tired of walking around.
Well, you might want to get used to it before you go to spectacle.
It's fine. I'm going to do things.
You know, the guards didn't check that often to see if I was still alive at the cages, but that doesn't mean it won't be that long before they notice I'm gone.
Exactly.
If
So
you alert them to
go.
the fact that I'm here, you've lost yourself a guide.
I'm not saying I'm going to alert that you're here. That's why I'm saying go back in alleyway while I try find companions, and then we'll leave.
Or here's a bright idea. Why don't I take the kid and we leave town, and when you find them, you can come and find us.
We like this plan.
See? So, it's settled. So, we're going to start heading toward the gate, and you can come and find us. We'll just be a little way south of town, somewhere in the woods.
Maybe don't go too far from
And
town.
if you'd like us to maybe find you there, just go make a spectacle in the trees.
Oh, it's not going to be that
Well,
much
I
of a
can help with that.
spectacle. Just wait a moment, okay?
Derelict starts walking. So, kind of checking over her shoulder to see what she's doing.
There's so many ways with that.
We is following Derelict and very much interested in whatever spectacle Balasa has just
So
said.
both of you are like walking, looking this way. As you walk away, Balasa, you're up.
Okay then, I
What are you
will.
gonna do?
Well, I was going to just shoot. Well, I was going to do something more, but I will just do something less.
Someone
We're
write
really
this down.
specific today. Alright, so what is this something less we're planning
I'm just going to shoot firebolts at this guy.
In which way? There's
And
two
up.
ways you can fire firebolts. There's your race way and class way, from specific blessings or class choices.
Is there a difference in what it does?
Yeah, you have to roll a d20 for one of them, and one you don't.
Aren't these cantrips though?
Raceway? Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Which one is it?
Firebolt.
Firebolt.
Oh, firebolt. If it's a cantrip, you should be fine.
Cool, I shoot firebolt in the sky.
You just like finger gun to the air.
and then
Oh,
it just
dear.
kind of pops and...
Does it say how far it can go? What's the range of that spell?
5
Says
feet.
Good
I think
distance.
it's like 30 feet.
120 feet.
Oh, boy.
No, but I wanted to
This
count.
sorcerer's eldritch blast. As it just.
But I just wanted to pop, like, not all the way far up, but just...
It's like a really sad firework.
Yes.
I was like, those
Perception
who are
checks.
it is sent for make perception checks at disadvantage. 'cause you're
At
looking for it.
disadvantage.
And it's really underwhelming.
Okay.
It's not gonna be good. I'll let
Oh, what's
Fel-
You
wrong
are
with that?
outside looking.
Dang it!
Actually, a 14 for me.
Also a 14.
It was a nat
Wow.
20, but disadvantage. That's like a 12.
Oh.
14, 14, and 12.
You guys do notice this little
What in the world?
in the sky.
Does that look familiar to either of you?
I bet they're trying to signal us.
Back to the firework. That orc guy's coming at you with a sword drawn. He's like, "How dare you!" Like, levels his blade pointing at you, both hands on the hilt.
How dare I what?
I have no idea.
Was it how dare you point
I'm just
sword
here
at-
till the gods arrive.
I am looking for companions. I didn't shoot anybody.
Puts the sword away. I can be the perfect traveling companion for a certain amount of incentive.
Oh,
Rubs his
dear.
fingers together. His one hand on his hip, which is like trying to be above his sword belt, which makes it like more near his ribs, and then the hand just kind of like rubbing together.
Well, I have plenty of things to deal with. I don't think I need another incentive.
One eyebrow goes down, and then the other goes up, and they quickly, fluidly change places. And he smiles, and you can see his teeth are really pushed out of the way. These large, like half-orc tusks.
Does
They
he
come
start
up near his
doing the
nostrils, and he's
back
kind of like. He's like, trust me, whatever you hired, I can do better.
Peck dance.
He like reaches into his like jacket, sort of like he's got like a little shirt which is open, and like a thinner cotton, sort of like loose thread count shirt. He got like a wife beater under a open V-neck. He reaches in and like pulls out this small card, and hands it to you.
I tentatively take card and look at it.
Alright.
What exactly are you good at doing that is apparently better than people I know?
It's like everything. And there's this small ink drawing of like this silhouette flexing, 2 arms up, right?
Oh my
It
god.
says Gorth's Companion Services.
Oh,
There's like a couple like price ranges for like
hello,
times,
Dolly.
like day, week, month.
She has a card for
And then there's another distance for traveling, like actual distances with different prices. There's like from town to nearest cottage, nearest inn, from city to city is the largest amount, and it's like it charges from 5 silver to 100 silver, so 1 gold.
Well, thank you for your information. I will contact you if I need your
Everything.
help, but
It's,
I am good.
It's a little soggy and soft. The card is.
Yes, and so I flop it.
Alright,
Enjoyed that.
I'll be here.
Perfect. I will
Smiles
be out
again.
of town.
This is
Have a
weird
good
to
day.
Peck dance.
He just kind of like goes back to walking around. It's like
Don't
the,
want to pay another
like the buff
person
guy at the
to
beach
follow
walking around
me.
flexing, looking for attention.
Johnny Bravo.
Help.
Alright, so you're walking out of town.
Run's walking towards
So
the
we see-
table.
You see a little very sad fire fizzle.
Sad day.
Subtle.
Next
And
time
like
I'll-
literally the only person who cared was that half-orc guy.
Exactly.
The
you are
guards look
concerned.
up and just like look back down.
Freaking kids.
Well,
You are in good hands, young one.
with your hands.
Yes.
Get out there.
I know. I said that out of character.
Are you gonna like start screaming or something?
No! Why would I start screaming?
I thought I was
Well,
wondering if
we
that
were
was
on
the
a boat.
spectacle.
And then we got discovered on the boat by Sawtooth. He was running the boat. And then he was like, well, you eat a lot, kid. And so he picked me up and, well, he put me on... We don't even know his name. Big orc guy. We got on his leg. And then we came in and, well, Sawtooth kind of dropped me off at Tiger Lady's feet. And then they were gone.
So he just dumped you at the nearest people available.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Explains a lot. Okay. And he just keeps walking with him out of
Away
town.
from the.
Yes.
We is trying to mimic the way Derelict walks.
To those of you who have witnessed this grand spectacle of the lowest form of magic, as you head that way, you do see standing in the middle of the market, just kind of like away from the shops, just this saggy
Picking
hood.
at my
Ah,
wrappings.
Ren, I think we found our rug.
That's the
I
one.
thought you said you weren't talking to me. Let's go.
We're not.
Start walking. What are you, like
It's
9?
been reinstated
She
now.
said that she wasn't talking to me anymore.
You're not my friend anymore.
Completely
say that.
reinstated now.
Emma, my youth got back. Alright, the three of you start approaching Melassa. Melassa's sitting there picking at the edges of the fringes of her.
Oh
Maid
no, I
poncho
am
sort of thing.
knitting. I mean stitching on the edge of the. That's what I'm doing.
Balasa.
What? Oh, you're here finally. Let's go.
So was that your little firework or
yes,
whatever?
let's go.
Oh, I guess it worked. Okay, where are the other two?
They started heading out of town.
You let them go by themselves. You let the thief take the child.
And this you see the closest
The child
one,
likes
like,
the
looks at
thief.
you.
What do you want me to do about it?
Slayer cocks an eyebrow.
At me or her?
And Melassa kind of cocks an eyebrow.
Slayer looks at the guard and goes,
It's okay.
It's his nickname.
Like I am Balasa, the guy is thief. It's just nicknames.
Balasa, stop talking.
I am leaving. Bye. And I walk back towards the gate. Towards.
Is that with it?
He's like, no, you're not. What?
What?
What kind of a nickname is Thief? And he gets closer to you.
Ren's
just
walking
someone
away.
who's always
Oh my
takes the
gosh.
thing
No,
out of my
no,
pocket
no.
and then gives it back to me all the time.
But he's going towards where Derelict
It's just silly game we play.
Roll a deception check.
I will do that.
I'm looking in the direction she started walking.
I miss when this skill was called bluff. It's a lot funnier.
That's really funny because I was the one to say it's a nickname.
Oh, well, good luck
She just
with
went
that.
with it.
My goodness, why do you guys talk?
21.
Because it
Guys,
makes it
like-
fun.
You know, we play game, it's very fun. And then that's how nicknames be. It's just how names are
I don't
important.
care anymore. And he turns
Thank you for helping.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever it
Like, wave his
was.
hand. He heads back to what looks like an open sort of restaurant sort of deal. It's just a simple canopy over like this rectangular opening in a wall. Some round or wooden tables with a couple chairs, and he just sits back down, picks up a mug, just sitting by himself, looking at the market, which is pretty boring today.
This guard job looks like it doesn't pay nearly enough.
Sayer just kind of shakes her head at the display of information free flowing.
Really,
You know
that
that
was
wasn't-
going. We almost had to go save you guys from a cage.
One person.
But Lassa, where are they going? Where did you?
They left out of town. Can't you see them up ahead?
No.
What?
It took them like 8 minutes to get to you in the
Oh
town.
my
They saw
gosh.
Well, no, I don't see them anywhere. Do you know where they went?
Yes,
the
this
fire
way.
fart, as it were.
Ren's
Lead
been
on,
heading that
Balassa.
direction for
Well,
a
let's
bit.
Walk away.
You know where you're
Good luck
going.
there, time.
Well, the
Yes.
way she pointed before the
You
guard
said you
entered.
walked away before she pointed.
No, I
You're
could have sworn she
walking.
pointed. Okay, well then.
We're going where she's going.
We're walking with her.
And so
to
Ren
find-
is by himself, walking in a direction, and
Ren!
you two are heading towards you two. So we're gonna get to you guys real
I
fast.
thought she started walking a
Near
certain
the end of the
direction.
market is
Well,
what's
I
called
tried
the Commerce
and then
Gate.
was
There's a
stopped
lot of
several
guard
times.
activity,
That's the direction
checking
Ren was
carts
walking.
and entrance and exits
we're
into
running.
this town. And you see that there's more guards than usual, as a lot of people are leaving the town. As this event yesterday, this public thing was probably advertised and people came in to see it and sell wares. There's lots of attention are drawn to those sort of events. And now that they're leaving, the guards are just checking everyone, make sure goods are legally obtained and exiting. So there's more guards than usual at this exit.
So Derelict stops we from going any further.
Do you trust men like that? That just
No.
check people?
No. Never.
Good kid. So, so he is then going to backtrack and find another
He's
exit out of
ruining
town.
As you backtrack, you can see the distance in the middle of the square, the whole squad. Like slightly ahead your way as you backtrack. You see as well. Or they.
We should
Y'all.
probably go. Do we see like a quick exit kind of a thing, like somewhere we can duck down and just kind of avoid?
They're nearby alleyways, yeah. There's near that first stables, a couple markets. You kind of head in what's called the sewer slums, so at the poorer part of town after the market, or you can jump over into the Justice's district.
I'd kind of point towards the slums and say, should we head that way?
Did you need them still?
No.
Wow. Wow.
Alright, rest of the party, you can make perception checks. They've stalled long enough.
Done deal. It's bad.
Nice!
15.
15. You can see this like
21.
dark-footed figure and a
16.
small, darker figure on the distance near like the gate, but not quite at the gate. Just kind of chatting. The little figure looking up, the big figure looking down.
I'm gonna walk towards him.
16.
Mhm.
Follow.
Yeah. So you notice it. You as well, Balassa. Since you know the direction they were headed, you know where to be looking. You spot them.
How long does it take to get to them?
The rest of you guys going?
Yeah.
Hey, we found you! Perfect.
Then
See,
this
no
way.
problems.
Actually, you would have noticed too.
Hmm.
How
I mean, I had to
Hour
cover
in,
up for
you guys
someone
have about
else's
neither
slip
horses
up,
nor
but
carts.
whatever.
Yep.
I took blame for it.
Find a horse.
Yeah, we found a place where we
If
can
you've
buy
got
a
1,000
horse.
gold.
Well, to
Yeah,
buy
we
a
did
horse.
find one.
That was I wanted to walk, but you seemed intent on walking off before we could talk.
No, that's what you guys did.
That was different.
I think
No,
that
it's
most
not.
of us wanted to walk.
Oh my
Actually.
goodness, going out of town. Let's go.
Except this exit seems a little occupied, so I suggest we
What's
just...
wrong with
Aww,
this exit?
what's wrong with this exit?
Yeah, it looks perfectly fine to me.
Well, then go right ahead. I don't really need you.
I can go.
Do you want a sort of disguise to get out?
Do you have more reps that you could give him?
No, but I have other things.
Well, unless you're willing to part with the rug, I suggest we find a different exit out of
I
town.
mean, there's always the woods. It's perfectly fine navigating in them.
We have to
Woods
get
are outside the
out
city.
of town.
We have to get
The woods
to
don't
the
come into
woods,
the
and
city
that
gate.
involves not crossing the guards.
Okay.
How did we get in town to start?
There were fewer
Boat.
guards then.
No, we different.
We got into town with a boat.
No.
Yes. I was brought in by
Looking
Saya.
at the guards at the gate, does Saya recognize any of them from her time in the city?
Did you really take time to memorize the guards?
Memorize? No, but she'd be like chummy with like one or two of them.
I mean, in Triad Reach uniform, they all generally look the same, but different heights. There's like these
Yeah.
dwarves, probably humans, elves, maybe humans. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
The Triad Reach is strictly those three races,
Okay.
especially the guards and military aspects of them. But you would know, my good friend, that the quickest route to Meladir is through the old charcoal road, which cuts through the middle of the forest just a little bit and pops out right next to it, avoiding the borders and all that stuff. But you do have to leave
Old
the Traveler's
Charcoal
Gate
Road.
for it.
Is that the gate we're at?
No, right now you got the Commerce Gate, so the other gate is the Traveler's Gate.
Old charcoal. It's not on here, is it?
No, it is not.
Okay.
It is a
That's
small
why
detail
just-
of town.
That one knows.
It is not part of a giant
Got
map.
That makes
If you
sense.
drew all the roads, it would just look like
Chaos.
Bolus spaghetti.
a
By
modern
also,
art piece.
meta question.
Or a real map.
Since this is mostly big things, are there smaller towns that aren't included on the map?
Oh, many.
That's what I thought. I just thought.
The
I'd
only
double
things
check.
on the map are cities.
Got it. Cool.
Ah,
Things
Sweet.
that people would know
So
about.
we must have marked.
Yeah,
this.
you wouldn't find like small like farming communities, villages, hamlets, mining communities, forest people. All that would not be on the main map.
So I suggest if we head to the Traveller's Gate, just a little ways off, that's going to get us the quickest way to Meladir, which is where you want to go.
perfect. Where can we find it?
The other side of town. It's the other gate you went out to get to the bird cages.
Just the way we came in when you got me out of that cage.
So we're going back to where you were.
He doesn't make eye contact with Sire at this point.
She is laughing.
Because he knows.
She is just
that
like
she was-
shaking with mirth, but it's all quiet. It's not like out loud.
So it's like shaking a can of soda. Lots of mirth.
Then you open it,
But still cold on the outside.
Very good.
And metallic, because hair.
Okay, well,
Aesthetics.
if it's faster, for a faster way to get to the place that
Then let's go.
she's wanting to go, then I guess we can go.
Great. And he starts walking.
We
Follow.
Alright, you guys have to pass through the market one more time, but you know your way to this part of town. All of you should at least. As you guys are approaching the Traveler's Gate, there's like two guards, one either side of the gate. One's asleep, the other one's like polishing like a sword on his leg. He's sitting, so it's like balanced pretty evenly, but he's just, getting the water off of it, checking the reflection in it. Goes up and sees you guys and he's like, where are you guys headed?
Just to the other side of town.
We
No,
know where
sorry,
the
this
side
is the other side of
Oh.
town.
At the other gate. You've already gotten to the other gate.
Oh,
Unless you guys
okay.
want to go shopping again.
We're just gonna point
No.
out
Didn't think
No,
so.
we're
since
heading-
You never walked into any shops.
We're heading to Meladir.
Alright, that's pretty long. You guys want to rent a horse?
Oh,
we
we
already
looked into
talked
it.
about this. We're leaving.
We looked into it, but thank you.
Pulls his sword back and reaches into this small case underneath his chair. Pulls out like a piece of parchment. He's like, one of you guys need to sign, just so we know how many people come in and out of this gate.
I can sign for it.
Perfect. Hands it to you.
Takes and signs it.
Ren's outside the gate.
Checks it. Puts it back in the box.
Why do they need one of us to sign a piece of paper?
Be safe, I guess. If you need any hired help, the barracks are not too far from here. Weapons of smiths and armories. The roads aren't super safe, but if you stick to the border route, you should be fine.
I'm sure that is where we will be.
Alright, well, safe travels.
Thank you.
Made you here watch your path. Oh, if you'd like, there is a small shrine to Jahir outside if you'd like to make a quick prayer. All of you would know the name Jahir is the god of travelers.
Yep.
He's pretty common for merchants and whatnot to just quick prayer safety between cities and just for fun. Sunday Mass, as it were.
Let's go.
Safe travels.
Twice.
Heading out of the city, but this time now you're being told where it was. You notice a small like cubby in the wall of the city that has this little statue of a horse reared up, its forelegs above and balanced on its hind legs, its mane thrown back very dramatically. There's small like little flowers, some coin, like a loaf of bread on it, just small offerings people make.
We would like to grab the bread.
Right? Not that you're a bread expert, but it is very stale and now kind of like soggy on top.
Oh.
It is the worst combination of bread.
Oh no.
Is there any other food on the altar?
No, just like some coin loose and like flowers and stuff.
Do I see him do
You're
this?
gonna rob a shrine.
Right. I
He's
see
thinking
him?
about it.
Do I see him do
Are you
this?
paying attention to the shrine?
Yeah.
Do you care about Jahir the God of Travelers?
You care about the gods and balance.
Make a perception check, I'd say. Because the little one swipes. Or how about you just make a stealth check versus her passive perception? That would make more sense to me.
Nope.
Oh boy.
So you
That
do
was
see
sad.
we take a large bite of the bread,
Wait.
and you recognize instant regret.
6. Yeah.
That's what you get for stealing the holy bread.
Maybe this will teach you not to steal things. This is not for us. We leave it here. I'm sure that you now want to leave it here, right?
We dropped it on the ground.
Put it back where it
Oh,
belongs.
man, we now has a shoulder angel and a shoulder devil.
Put it back where it belongs.
It belongs in a garbage can.
Somebody put the effort in to put this on the altar. Put it back on the altar.
We would pick up the bread, and we would like to try to put it on in a way that we can also take off a coin without being noticed.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Is that also for my passive perception?
No,
Or-
this is different.
Sleight of
Or
hand.
against my passive perception?
Yeah, that was
14.
14.
Attaboy.
As we drops the bread, it like hits the ground and it like falls off the little wooden pedestal, like oh, and like bends down to pick it up. And do you have a tail? Wayne?
Yep.
As you pick up the bread, making a large show in front of you, your tail swipes off a copper and a silver. You put the bread back, and you turn around. As you were only to the side, the coins are being held against your leg by your tail. And as you turn to face the tail rotates to the back of your leg as you face Corey.
Do I see this?
Definitely.
I'm guessing I didn't then.
This is a classic distraction maneuver. You would definitely know this. You would not.
Fine.
We leave the things at the shrines for the gods, and for whoever has put them there, keep the balance between whatever the gods decide they want to do.
You guys have entered into
Just
your
don't anger
adventure
them.
soundtrack.
And they won't bother you. Let's keep going.
Behind her back, Daryl like winks at we.
All right.
I don't like this.
An episode and a half in, we have begun the plot. The journey between these two cities is a lot. So you could travel
Exposition.
about 24 miles a day, unless you
Wait.
push to a fast speed. Don't interrupt me while I'm telling you the rules. In general, you can push it to about 30 if you're going fast speed. That it does mean you have disadvantage on observing your surroundings. If you'd like advantage on those, you can go a more relaxed pace, only get about 18 to 15, depending on the weather and terrain. But it's up to you guys how would you like to be traveling and which is your route you would like to go. Now,
So-
you had something you want to say.
Would any part of this be considered difficult terrain?
Not at this first leg that you can get to in the main day. As you can see, the forest is roughly 2 or 3 days away at the thick of it. But you're mostly in the hills and a bit of like a rocky landscape near like
Okay.
the coasts and whatnot. And it's mostly just these flowing grasslands, these long, just whistling grass plains.
So we're not in the forest yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
But there are bits of, like, straggling bits of woods, but the main mass of the huge forest isn't for a while. There are smaller parts of it, and, like, hills that go up a bit more strenuous journey, but it wouldn't be considered difficult terrain yet.
Yet. All right. Let me know when it does.
Will do.
Sayer would kind of try to set the pace like a normal 24-mile day.
Just standard.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Slow enough that we can be observant of surroundings.
Okay, so just the standard pace. Anyone want to do anything as you travel?
I would like to look for creatures that I could eat or forage for food.
Alright, make a survival check.
Keep an eye out for any wild horses that happen to be around, if any.
Survival
Non-natural
check,
20.
But disadvantage because you
Yeah, I
have
get it.
a
I get it.
closeness with that. As you travel a bit, you do notice tracks and signs of like small mammal game, like hares, small like wild gophers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd like to catch a few.
Alright, you had what, 3 rabbits before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you now have 5 rabbits.
5
Very
rabbits.
nice.
Just as you're traveling, occasionally Ren will be like, hey, well, 1 second, like, sneaks off through the grass, you just he comes back with a dead rabbit.
11.
Okay, no horses.
No horses. That's fine.
As the travel, as you started about midday, so you're not going to make it the full 24 before dark sets. You only make it about half, that's about 12. You only have about half of the regular traveling time. So as you push past the city and the hills, eventually leading upwards enough that it disappears through sight, you've now entered into the wilds of Fell Signs. The first day's travel is pretty average. You don't see anything really. As the path continues, it's a well-worn path that started as a road from the city, and eventually the upkeep just kind of stopped. They didn't want to have to pave the whole way to anywhere. At about mile 10 of your 12-day trip, you make it to this large post of wood that has several directions pointed at it and distances. The first you look for, obviously, is Melodier, and it says 460 miles that way. There are 2 other ones near it that say the Old Charcoal Path, Border Path, pointing in different directions. And the final post points towards the coast, the opposite direction you're headed, or I guess just parallel to, perpendicular to it. It says Elves Port, same distance.
Pointing to the old charcoal road sign. This is the way we want to go if you'd like to keep your guide.
So you're talking about if we want to keep you.
Yes.
Yes.
Very well, lead on.
Sounds adventure music.
And we go that way. That was easy.
Alright, the Old Charcoal
She's
Road.
tired.
The Old Charcoal Road has earned its name as you make it past your 11th and entering in your final mile. As the sun begins setting, as it's just that regular sort of medium light that comes through an overcast day. You can't tell that the sun is beginning to set as it gets darker and colder, especially. The rain has stopped and the clouds are just thin above you, but it's still enough overcast to block the sunlight. The fields seem pretty much endless, almost like a sea of grass, but as you push towards the end of the day, there is a bit of like forested shelter sort of this side, and you see in the distance what looks like a small rise of like thin steam or smoke, and maybe like a small village possibly out there. And it's like another mile or 2 off. You can push through it without the excessive need of like a point of exhaustion from it. You can easily get there, but you'll get there past sundown.
I would also like to say Ren has probably been looking for spices he could find anywhere. Did he find any spices?
Next time, ask before we begin the journey.
No, like wild spices that he's picking.
Yeah, same sentence.
Okay.
That way I can plan what you're going to pass instead of like, oh, what did you pass?
Okay. Well, on our way there, do I find any spices?
No.
Okay. What's the spices, man?
It's okay, I want
probably-
wildflowers too, but I
We
didn't
should
ask.
probably bed near the village, or in it if we can.
I like beds.
We're tired.
We can tell.
There's often a safe house along the old charcoal road. That's why you recommend it.
Okay. Near the village.
Usually in the villages, there's 1 or 2 that you can find. Typically 1, but there's always something you can find.
Okay.
So can we go into town? Can we?
I think we could camp
Yes,
outside the town.
Far too small to call a town. Just like a grouping of maybe like
Houses.
20 to 30 buildings. You
Well, we
see
can't.
what looks like fenced off areas where the grass has been removed, like rougher dirt and sort of muddish. The grasses seem more organized in places, like thicker, maybe corn stalks growing up. It's not a large community, but there seems to be enough to be self-sufficient. You see, it's mostly circular in its shape, like they were built around one
Beginning
central
of
area.
colonizing.
And like most likely a well or just like a natural stream that passed through. Just a place people found good soil and decided to stop in between cities, like a place for travelers, like in your situation, to have breaks. They're very common. especially along the main roads, where people would stop and think, hey, we can help others, and a
Like a
small
rest stop,
society
yeah.
would build. Yeah, like a gas station in the medieval world just became a small town. So those tiny places like down southern Utah, like Penguich, where it's like a gas station, 5 buildings, that's it.
Perfect.
Sort of that sort of thing.
I mean,
Let's
if
go.
we
Is there a fire?
Yeah.
Let's go.
You can see like there's a small rise of smoke, but nothing I would classify as like a roaring.
Not
obvious
roaring
sign.
fire, just like a campfire.
I mean, we could
Not
make
from
a
this distance.
campfire too if we needed to.
Sayre walks towards the village.
I'll keep with Sayre, keep her pace.
Alright, it's about 20, 30-ish more minutes of walking. The sun is now set. It's gotten much colder, like that one guard I let you know. Or was it the small gnome guy? Either way, someone in the town let you know it gets cold at night. And he was right. As you start approaching this small hamlet sort of thing, you notice that there's no lights in the doors. Everything is calm, quiet. There are no animals in the pens, just nothing. Empty.
That's odd.
Empty as in unlived, or empty as in everyone's asleep?
Empty as in you're outside and can't tell. As you approach closer to the town, in the center of it, more circular location where everything's probably built around, is like a solid stone well. And it's got a nice little like a roof over it, and the like chain and rope with the bucket, which is raised and put to the side.
Does it look
on a
like?
hook.
So it looks like that would be communal for the little rest stop then.
Yeah.
I would assume that we could probably get water here and camp wherever we needed to.
We just flops over onto the ground.
Oh, I guess this is
We're
where
in
we
the middle
stop.
of this.
This is a
Skin
small
and bones.
gathering of buildings, right? As you notice that there is a small stream of smoke coming out of one. Not much.
There any shivering? Do you know where we can sleep inside?
Well, you might want to start heading toward that, pointing at the little column of smoke.
Okay.
Sayre starts walking towards
That
it.
looks like
Run's been walking towards that. He's looking for a fire.
Is that where the safe house would be?
You didn't pass through here on your way over. You were with a group when you first came over, but you'd have to ask. You just have to have the simple call and response, figure out who the safe house would be. It's pretty obvious.
Corey's really quick going to go over to the well and just fill up her water skin.
But there's no one to
Pull the
ask.
bucket off of the small hook holding up, and you release the little peg that holds the handle. It just falls and pulls taut. You hear a small echo. Just
And she just like rolls it up, I guess.
roll it back up. It comes up like damp on the bottom, but nothing inside.
Okay, well, there should be water in here, but I guess there's no water. I wonder what's wrong with this well.
At this point, the rest of you guys looking around, heading towards buildings and whatnot, some of the wooden structures are starting to sag a bit. Like porches in front of houses, the wood seems to be weathered and starting to split. Some windows are cracked. You see shutters just kind of slapping freely behind.
Corey's getting on edge now.
Run's
For
walking
a
towards
starting
the fire.
blaze.
There's smoke.
Alright, there is a specific building the smoke is coming from,
Oh.
and one of the windows nearest the door is actually shattered.
Wait for us.
If I give
Way
you
past
pizza
it.
cheese, will you stand up? Do you want piggyback ride?
We would love a piggyback ride.
Aww.
Okay, I just pick him up and put him on my back.
Alright?
Seeing
Reverse Sacagawea style.
Aww.
Is there fire in
Wait,
this
did she
place?
have hers on the back or the front? I can never remember.
Either way.
Either way. Quasi Sacagawea.
So would you say that the house that the smoke is coming from looks abandoned?
Yeah, but when you get closer to it, there is a little flicker of orange light that illuminates the walls of the interior of this building through the window. It's not like coming through the whole house, just this one little spot.
I'm gonna knock.
I can make a perception check before you do that.
Okay. Perception check.
Corey
But
is
it's
starting to
okay,
get
it's
worried.
okay. That's gonna be
Small
An
abandoned
8.
town.
An 8.
it's 8.
I
rolled a 2.
Are you with him?
I am near the house, but I am behind him.
Okay, who is with Ren as he goes and knocks on the door?
I'm back with.
I picked up child.
I was by the well.
Oh, at the well, so kind of like this little staggered sort
Trail.
of thing. So before you knock, Ren, you gonna change that course of action, knowing where everyone is, or just knock?
I'm just gonna knock.
Alright.
Went off by himself.
Oh gosh.
You hear like a small commotion, and what sounds like this large, singular sound, just this.
Oh no.
And you hear footprints, like the wood just compressing. Just
So Ren hears all this, right?
yeah, and you can see from the window, coming around the wall with the fire is a humanoid form, a hood drawn, and this massive, like sword blade attached to the end of a quarterstaff, like half the length of a spear being held by a figure, who starts walking towards the door, and grabs. Yeah, like that, like a
So-
sort of thing.
Before, like, the person, Ren wants to, like, after hearing that, kind of jump back a bit.
Okay.
Like, not like, but like, in preparation just in case the person wants to try and attack him.
Okay, so you're ready to step back.
Yeah. But like, it's like, so he can use his bow, because he doesn't
You all notice,
combat.
after Red knocks on the door, quickly jerks back from the door.
That's not a good sign. Her hair is
a voice.
her is
I'm
standing
gonna
on.
kneel.
You hear this voice,
Okay.
this
I don't
What
know
is
a
it?
good place to hide.
Put it under your cloaks.
you hear like
Yeah, I
soft
just.
wrestling of metal.
Okay.
Things get into place.
How would I do that?
No one looking for trouble.
Lift up the poncho, and I cover you.
The door slowly swings open, just as
I have 3, so
and the figure inside the doorway, like, readies the spear towards you. What's your name?
I am Ren.
Red pulls the spear back and sets it down. Pulls back his hood, and there's a worn, veteran, experienced older man, and he has like not like a beard, but just unshaven stubble all over, and it's mostly gray, but this time with little flecks of darker like reds and browns. His hair is shaved almost to the skull on the sides of his hair, with that same length of the scraggle beard, and the rest of it's pulled tight in this small little like tail of hair. He has like a long leather traveler's coat and this set of like very white, almost pearlescent gloves holding onto this weapon. Just simple traveler's clothes. You can see there's like a pack behind him. That's where the fire is. He sets the spear down, looks at you, looks at the rest of you, and is like, "You shouldn't give your name away so freely on the road." Looks at the rest of you. You all need a fire to stay?
Does somebody
Yeah.
say fire, please?
Yeah, and you now see this older dude who's opened the door, just talking to Ren now, talking to the rest of you. My fire's going, and I have some small meat cooking if you'd like to share it.
I have meat of my own.
Listen, the road is a hostile place, but you're welcome to share my company for the evening.
Thank you.
Please, anywhere out of
I trot
whatever
over.
this is.
And he just retreats back into the house, leaving the door open.
I walk in.
I
Pull up
run
my
over to
rabbits.
where he is. And
I'm
just
gonna
like,
start
nope.
skinning them and then cooking them over the fire.
Okay, well, you knowing it's probably smart to get it outside
Well,
because of...
okay,
food
yes,
and
yes. I skin outside and then I.
Sire walks inside and searches the house for any other people.
Sure, make an investigation check.
I turn to Derelict and give a non-acoustical look that you can see, but do you think this is safe? I mean, this town seems really weird.
I'm not so sure. They might be fine. Me?
You're really warm, rug lady.
Half awake.
Is any of my food done
Falling
cooking?
asleep even better
You're
now.
still skinning it.
Okay.
It's very warm.
Well, when it's done cooking.
I'll let you know when you
It's
start
all
cooking. How about that?
Okay.
There's a heat given off.
Oh, would my abilities affect my investigation roll?
Which one?
I'll text it to you.
There's lots of abilities.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for other living things in this building, the answer is no. If you're
Okay.
looking for otherwise animated things, the answer is no.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
There's nothing else in this building. You don't even find remains. Upstairs, you find a small bed, which is made. One of the pillows is a bit more indented than the other, as they're both like this impression, one deeper than the other. Off to the windowsill is this small clay pot with a withered remains of what looks like possibly a flower or a small fruit thing. In this upstairs, there are 3 rooms. One, a simple washroom, a large basin, and like a brass tub, a place for an open window to drop out the waters when they're done, which faces away from the main square, in between this house and the next over. And then there's a room smaller than that first one with the 2 impressions on the pillow, and it's got a simple bed, small little like wooden rails set to the side of it, like a small pillow, no blankets or whatnot, and a closet with quilts and like sort of like bath like robes sort of things hanging in it. That's all you find upstairs. There's no basement to the building. An empty kitchen, bare cupboards and whatnot. There's a small wooden table near the kitchen area with 3 plates set. And a tipped over glass, which is rolled to the center of the table.
Okay.
Now the rest of you go and sit down at the fire with this dude.
I go sit down next to him.
Right?
Cautiously.
I stand.
Where he has set up a fire is just like in the middle of a room where there's this broken part of the floor, and he's put these large stones into the broken wood baseboards of the house, and looks like he's used those baseboards to set this small fire. There are 2 sticks that have little branches set to either side of it, and a small metal rod with looks like a rabbit or something at a spit, and he's slowly turning it. There's a chair that he has pulled up near the fire, and like a tipped over cabinet next to it as well, and he comes back around with 2 more chairs and sets it down by this fire, and he sits and continues to turn the spit. So what brings you guys to the charcoal road? Just slowly rotating this beast.
Derelict's just kind of sitting down. Says, well, long story, but my feet will tire from walking.
I'm always in the mood for a story,
Yeah.
but if you're so tired, then rest up.
We're just passing through, looking for something.
You hear the sounds of Sire checking upstairs and rummaging around, and Ren comes in with these 2. How many did you skin?
I would say I skinned like all 5 of them so they don't go bad.
He comes in with these fresh rabbits. The guy looks up at you and is like, "Oh, more for the spit. This one's almost done.
Sandy with
I'll
their
try to
bow.
find some usable eating ware." He stands up and starts walking back into the other parts of the house.
Ren starts cooking over the fire.
We smell food.
Do you want
Crawl
to
out
sleep?
from
Or do you want
underneath the
food?
poncho.
I swing you around to the front and set you down.
Still bundled.
Wrapped up with your money.
Cocoon imagery.
So you're all fine just sleeping in the home of a stranger?
If you'd give me a moment, I want to
I'm
ask him
sleeping
something.
in the home of strangers all the time.
We haven't
slept
it's only
together
been a
before.
day.
This is a family-friendly show.
It's
That's not
only
what I'm
been a
talking
day.
about.
We haven't been in each other's company for that long.
Then maybe I wasn't talking about that.
We is reaching for
alright.
the cooked rabbit.
You might want to ask the nice man first.
Just rip a leg off and start knock on it.
He's not very old.
He's not there.
The guy isn't?
Yeah, he went to the kitchen to find plates.
I wanted to ask him.
He'll be back.
Okay,
He's
she's
looking
going
for
to
plates.
wait for him to come back.
Clearly. As we is eating the leg, the rest of you, so the fire is warm, but it does take a while to get through your,
Entourage.
I was going to say catacombs, but sure. to get to you through that heavily guarded wall of cloth.
Never.
So many layers, guys. She has designed them all. There's just a lot. Alright, what are you guys doing at the fire way away?
Sayere's keeping watch in the living room, or the biggest room, like out the windows, out the door.
Where you came in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed there's not much furnishing left, but maybe there wasn't much to begin with, as the dust layers are pretty even throughout.
Cody is going to look over to Ren, turning the spit, and just be like, so why are you always talking about money?
I don't have any.
You don't have much either, it doesn't really matter. You don't need money.
I do.
The old man comes back around with the plates. Everybody needs money. Here. Hands out like different mismatched, like clay or porcelain, or he's got like this metal like lid sort of thing. He hands it out to everyone. Goes to hand one to Wee. You seem to be faring all right. And goes to Derek. You want one?
Just takes it.
And he sets the other 2 remaining down. And that one should be done. And he hands you a plate to put the rabbit on.
Thanks.
Pulls out this like thick butcher's hunting knife, which has this straight blade from the hilt all the way down, like at the width of the palm to the wrist, and it comes out in this curved blade that's a gentle slope until it's this parallel line from this almost bill sort of shape, and it connects into the handle, which is square, and it has a small like bronze inlay to it, and the steel of it seems to be plated with the same whitish material that his gloves are made of. And he flips it over, grabs the handle, and has it to Ren. You can cut it with the...
Start
He
cutting
takes
it.
the small metal rod, picks up a rabbit, and just kind of You hear a little steam as the metal's still hot. Just sits it back down. He begins to rotate the next one.
So, what brings you guys out here? You're not family. I'm not gonna judge. Adoption's a
We are
great
not.
way to go these
No,
days.
we are not family. It's
So, where are you sitting?
complicated.
I am currently right next to the first cooked rabbit, ripping off another leg.
Well, I'm handing the plate to you. I'm saying, here, kid, your skin and bones eat up. And you get the whole rabbit.
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna turn you into a fat little baby.
Fat little beef, baby. Klepto chub ball.
How about instead I ask you some things?
Fair
what-
enough.
What happened to this place? There's no water. There's no nothing.
I couldn't tell you. I passed by here this afternoon. Thought it'd be a good place to bunk down. I've been waiting.
Then he kind of like scratches underneath his jaw, like the small scraggle of facial hair. You notice there's a scar that the neck muscle that just traces down into the undershirt that he wears under the cloak. He scratches it for a second. Saying,
Just been tracking something. Brought me this way. Thought this would be a good place to wait.
Does the scar look new or like weathered?
very old.
Very old.
Very, very old.
Can I ask what you're tracking?
You can ask, but maybe it's my turn to ask a question.
Okay.
Fair enough.
What brings you out this way?
You could say we're also tracking something.
We're just heading south.
Heading south, huh? So why are you headed west to get to south?
Well, you know, wait, west. I thought we were heading southeast.
The charcoal road goes west,
It's
but it curves
around.
Got it.
It's like
As not every path is straightforward.
That might be the wisest thing I have heard in weeks.
Do you travel alone?
Usually, yeah, so I guess it's the first thing I've heard in weeks. You got me on a technicality, Druid. Well played. So,
So, what are you tracking then?
well, to be honest, I didn't think you were going to answer my question, so I was trying to avoid it. It's something, let's just say it's something I was more or less hired to find, and the less you know, the safer you are.
ASMR over there with me.
Please. Oh my god, stop.
Chill it.
At that line, Sayar is gonna turn over and be like, "You know what this is?" Pointing at the hand on her pauldron.
Wait, what?
Yo, what
Yeah.
about this?
Yeah, I know what that is.
Ren is doing the same thing. And he points to his emblem, pulling his coat together.
Alright.
Is it point at symbols day?
Yep.
So we have a couple people from various factions in the same room. What brings it all together, huh?
I don't
No,
honestly
no.
know.
Question. Is what you're hunting related that?
No.
Okay. And then Sayar goes back to watching.
Yep, no, you're good.
Is it something bad?
It depends on your point of view. But from mine, it is.
I tend to remain unbiased and neutral.
Can anyone?
No.
Yes.
No.
You'd be surprised how little opinion the druids have on many things. That's not a bad thing. No respect intended. It's just to remain neutral, you usually choose to stay out of things.
So,
That is usually correct, which is why I don't know I'm still with these people, but
so
here we are.
this thing you're searching for, you say it's bad. Is it something we might want to watch out for?
No.
No.
I'll find it before it finds you. And if I find it, then one of us isn't going back on the road.
It. Is
But
it
if-
a creature of some kind?
I probably shouldn't say it.
Fair enough. Well, a speedy retrieval for whatever you're hunting.
Well, this half the room's rather chatty, but how's this one? Now, well, you have quite a bit of meat there, and you're taking care of it. It's past your bedtime, little guy.
Yes, it
He's
is.
looking at we, or they, I guess. Kind of curious. Checking back and forth between your two eyes. Kind of like,
We're not sure either. Don't really know what he is.
We are us. We've been over this many times.
We've been over it, doesn't mean that I understand.
Oh,
Ren's
just
gonna go to the
leave
kitchen,
the
start
child
chopping up some
alone.
cabbages.
Okay.
Just to have with the rabbits.
Alone.
you guys shut the door. It's like, hey, hold up. Do I recognize you? I call up the sire.
Sayar's gonna face him, kind of with a puzzled look. Do I recognize him?
Make an intelligence check. He's going to do the same.
Okay. Ooh, 15.
You've never seen this dude a day in your life. Like, as far as you can remember, you've never come across this guy before.
Sorry, old timer.
Could have sworn. Anyway. So, the elf told me his name. The rest of you going to be so forthcoming?
We are us.
Just call him child.
I think I'll take your advice to the elf, if you don't mind.
Wise.
I don't mind. It's Corey.
It's a very strong Juric name. Center, I believe.
That is, yes, that is accurate.
I had another druid or two.
Who?
Oh,
I might
Just-
know them.
long ago. It's probably before your time.
I still might know. I know quite a few people.
Well, maybe we'll share that story after the food. And he takes the next rabbit off his spit and like slides it onto a plate. Looks for Ren, sees he's gone, takes a knife.
Well, actually, Ren comes out and puts some cabbage on some chopped cabbage for them to eat.
Raw cabbage.
Yeah, just
Raw
some chopped
cabbage is
cabbage. You
pretty
can eat
good,
cabbage
actually.
raw.
Alright, then he hands you a plate with the rabbit. He'll give you some piece of grind. And he takes the next one, puts on the spit.
Well,
Do you even know where you're going? You don't have to tell me where, but do you know where you're going?
as for the most part, do you happen to know, since symbols and people and asking questions, I pull out a broken scabbard and show it. Do you happen to know any information on people with this in this group? And
Well, I can't say I recognize it. How old would you say it is? It bears resemblance to something pretty old. How recent did you come across this symbol?
Right into your plate.
I'd say in the past
I'm standing,
month.
keeping watch.
Still hands you a plate.
2
Doesn't
months.
take it.
2 months.
All right.
Well, that's a little bit younger than I remember it for, but there's a story. How about I tell some stories? Since, questioning's a bit uncomfortable, I just wanted to know a little bit of those who I was staying with. Just a little courtesy. But how about a story? Would you like to hear it?
Of course.
If it's relevant,
Word of
then
mouth.
yes.
It's a story of 3 heroes during the War of the Grand Dragons, way, way back. These 3 heroes came together to protect their homeland. Their names have been lost to history, legends of the war. They bore a symbol similar to that, but it didn't have the hole inside of it. They had a symbol of the burning sun. These 3 heroes protected their land until their dying breaths. It's countless stories of their heroism, just defeating from the giants to dragons to creatures from different planes to creatures of Underdark, massive entities of grand lore, never crossing anything quite like the rulers of planes, perhaps, but enough where they became heroic. They were known as the Noble Triad. The symbol was similar to that, but again, it didn't have the whole. Now, I have a different story for you as well. The story of a young man who lost something in his early years, something precious to him, and he decided to spend the rest of his life hunting for it. So he took to the road. He searched and searched, came across distant lands he'd never been before, counted fears, bandits, all the creatures upon the roads. But you know what he found? On those journeys, the one thing he sought eluded him. But what he found was a purpose. He found that all the time he'd spent traveling, he became so expert in his craft that he helped others. He became a guardian of the travelers, helping people as they crossed from city to city, from ocean, from continent to continent, across the varieties of oceans, just a safeguard to those. The story has many different ways to be told, many different origins, but this is the one I like the most because it tells of someone who thought they had a purpose, and upon the road and upon their choices discovered that their destiny lay elsewhere and that their choices were something much better.
At this point, you all feel the ground kind of rumble. It just something slight, and the wind picks up. It just outside. The shutters kind of smack where the glass is broken. The house doesn't lose any structural integrity, but everything kind of moves. The chairs kind of just, the things inside rattle against each other. Even the spit almost loses balance, and he grabs one of the sticks and holds the metal to keep it in place.
What was that?
Probably just the wind.
Ah.
Small town isn't very strong, but if you're going to be on the road, judging by the looks of you, none of you remember before the war.
No.
Times are different. What used to be passage hunted by one thing is now open to all the varieties of creatures and monsters that once roamed the world. Packs of gnolls coming down from the mountains, giants, things like that are not afraid to travel anymore, same as us. The skull leaders may be gone. Doesn't mean the world is safe again.
He stands up and he picks his large sword up. He draws his hood, starts walking towards the door.
You can keep the rabbit.
And he picks up like a small pack and slings it across his shoulder that doesn't hold the blade. As he approaches the door, he looks at you, Sire, and he's like, could have sworn I know you.
Well, anyway, keep your name safe, but for gratitude of letting me share a campfire and having some conversation for the first time in a long time, I'll let you know mine. My name is Kai.
He starts walking out. He walks down the steps and starts heading out towards the way the wind was going, and he just leaves.
By this point, Ren has handed out dishes of rabbit and cabbage to everyone.
An interesting fellow. Clearly
Indeed.
had a place to go.
So
Late
really
night.
quick before she eats it, Dakota's just gonna turn aside and like basically say a little prayer in Druidic over this animal that's been slain, and then turn back.
Wee has kind of crawled down to right next to the fire and kind of curled up and is half asleep.
As the group bunks down to rest, preparing for the next day of your journey, we are going to take a quick break, use the bathroom, get some drink, refreshments, and whatever, and we will come back in a couple minutes. Massive help to us in bringing our content to you. So thanks again, Justin. And another thank you for enjoying the show. That said, let's get back to it. And welcome back. Thanks for staying while we were on break. Of course, for you it was like 10 seconds. At that point, so where we left off, our heroes, loose term, haven't done anything yet.
Our
I'm just
weirdos.
kidding.
Not
I'm just being
heroic.
rude. You guys were camped out in a small, random farming community where no one was, except for this one older veteran of life. You guys know we were just there, but he left. What do you do?
Well, I think we were just eating around the fire.
Yeah.
At least as of yet, no one's left.
Koda's gonna look back over to Ren and be like, you told us that you have a family.
Yeah?
Why are you not with them?
That's a, I mean, this place isn't exactly the most wealthy.
Are you from that town that we were in?
No, I'm from the continent here.
Okay, so they fell sons. Yeah.
Believe me, if I could be with my family right now, I'd go to them as soon as I could. But circumstances right now just lead to me having to set out.
Is there not work around where your family lives? That
Not
you can
enough.
do? Not enough work. How do you know that they will be safe?
My wife is one of the strongest women I know. I wouldn't trust anyone else but her with my kid. Or maybe someone else, but I know that they're in good hands.
Okay. And you trust that they will be alright when you're not around?
I don't trust, I know.
So you're out here working for them?
Working is a very loose term. I am more or less looking for expenses, funds. But I had a lead in it. It didn't give me everything I needed, so here I am.
What kind of work are you looking for?
Anything that can get me money, preferably something I'm good at. I'm really good at tracking. Really good at recon.
What is recon?
Reconnaissance.
So being sneaky.
Being sneaky, looking around, getting information. But the good kind. And I'm like,
Ouch.
Whatever
What
he
kind?
is for.
you can tell that there's some jest in his eyes. He's not being like 10,000% serious.
That's all you can see in his eyes.
Just 9,000%.
There's a smidge.
The winds from outside are getting even a bit much for you, Zaire. Taking the time to close the door and standing by the windows, I assume, to look out
Yeah.
still.
Still looking outside,
Just a simple.
keeping watch.
Wind
Well-
just passes by at a normal. Just a simple little whistle, just a little higher pitch near the broken glass, just a little. Otherwise, there's not many stars out. The moon's muted. The sky is just a simple post-rain night. The clouds are starting to clear up a bit. They'll probably be gone in the morning, but for now, they are just slowly fading.
Is there a spot in the house where Corey could go and be alone?
It's a small house and everyone's in one place, so upstairs.
Okay.
Ren's gonna sit down cross-legged and he's gonna start enchanting one of his arrows with a spell. Oh wait. One of the ranger spells.
You cast spells through your arrows when you shoot them. You don't have to pre-enchant them.
Oh, I thought that I had to.
Yep.
Never mind
Just
then.
clean.
That's if you're an artificer, which is a totally different class.
Okay. I am not.
Meta plot twist.
Wait, JK, I am one. Not really.
Well, if everyone else is done, I'm going to go upstairs and rest. So, Corey goes upstairs, and is there a window in the room?
Yeah, there's one in the bathroom, and one in the main, sort of the room with the two-pillow bed, but the one with just the single bed with the small wooden frames, like a little, almost like walls to it. It does not have a window.
So go into the bedroom that has a window. Just sit down and in a pose to pray or meditate or something. But before she does, we'll touch her necklace.
Okay.
And, yeah. From there, none of you were there, so.
Well, then I can give you small funds for the time that you have with me. Despite the fact that none of us know exactly where we're going or what we're doing or what I'm really searching for, because I can't find them.
Are you talking like a form of payment?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will do my best to help then.
I can't give you probably everything that you need, but I do appreciate that you're here. Or at least I appreciate your sacrifice for your family. I can understand that.
Yeah, it's one that I wish I didn't have to make.
It's definitely not easy. I toss him a gold coin.
Coin or a lump?
A coin.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah. Keep it.
This is so much. Thank you.
You may think that, but go for it.
Keep it.
I am genuinely curious at like the time of day, type of travel, the food just recently is. Are they even awake right now?
Not really. They're like on the verge of falling asleep.
It's like a little kid sitting like holding something like rocking back and forth.
Except curled up next to the fire because they already finished eating.
It's way past that stage. Okay.
How many rabbits are left? Did we eat them all? Or?
Yeah, you should have eaten them all. Those people
Alright.
didn't eat. Kai did not eat.
We ate at least 1.5.
1.5?
You have been pantomiming, rotating that spit for quite some time, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming all of them have been cooked.
Alright, so no more rabbits.
Sayre's gonna turn back to the group and then say, Ren or Derelict, one of you should take the first watch. I'll take the last one.
How many watches do we need?
3.
There are 3 watches.
I only need 4 hours and I can get a full night's sleep. So I could take watch for most of the night.
So first and second.
I could.
If that's what you want.
No problems with me.
Darren's thinking to himself, I'm never gonna take watch.
Ren go ahead and takes watch.
Alright, so
Some
we're all
ability to
kids.
stay up quite late.
the rest of you bunking down to sleep. You're by the fire, I assume.
Yep.
And you guys.
I
begin your
go
rest.
up actually also next to the fire. Just it's probably not a big fire, so
It is dying down. There's a small cooking fire, not like a large warmth fire.
What furniture was in the room?
There was a couple chairs, a broken sofa, like just snapped in the middle, and there was a turned over like bureau you guys were sitting on. Cabinet.
is there any wood that I can like throw in the fire?
Yeah, the cabinet, and the chair, cabinet, and the couch.
All
Like,
of
it's all made of wood. It's all wooden furniture. There's no real stone. There's like animal skins that are the padding for this longer like divan sort of couch sort of thing. It is now broken, but it has those furs and the wood was what kept it together.
Okay, whatever the thing is broken, I'm gonna break off some pieces and throw it in the fire and lay down. Yep.
And the fire continues
Spark
to build. Everyone went on for the rest.
Ren does his
Alright.
trance.
Alright, that is a. You can't like transcend beyond watch. You gotta watch that trance.
Well, yeah. Whenever I am
So you
not
have to
on
make
watch,
2
I'm gonna
perception
trance.
checks for the 2 watches, or just 1 if you are willing to risk it.
Just 1. I think I'll make 2.
Alright.
That's a natural 1.
Oh.
Good watch.
Oh.
And then that's a that's an 8.
Oh.
I rolled a 1 and then a 2.
Alright, as
So
you
bad.
relax and take your watch, you sit there thinking about the things you talked about, the reasons you're out here. Like, oh crap, you look back out the window, drawn back to it, you don't see anything. The watch seems to pass uneventfully. Both of the watches are just a simple night, occasional build of wind, just as will push by, sort of shaking the door frame, the little shutters of the windows. Some of the floorboards will creak randomly, just but nothing evident happens. You take a quick round, all the windows, pausing throughout the house, looking out, checking. Be careful not to wake anyone up, but you won't find anything. Nothing. The time comes and you go and you poke Sayre, who's already waking up.
Hey, it's your turn. Nothing to report on.
Sarah nods and then stands up and goes to keep watch.
And make a perception check.
How much bludgeoning would I have taken?
I don't know, I don't DM real life.
You're upstairs, anyways.
Well, that was 21.
What?
21.
21. As you keep watch,
Carol.
you notice over at some of the other houses, like near the edge of the direction opposite where you came, as well as the opposite direction of where Kai left. He left sort of the way you had come in when you exited. But the opposite direction towards where you're headed, near some of the other houses, you see some forms a bit closer to the house. You can't really make it out from the distance and the night and stuff. And they stay close to the building wall, and one form gets down, another form gets on top of it, and enters into one of the windows. And a couple minutes later, the second form comes out carrying some stuff and hops down, and the two look through it and smack each other for a second. It's just a small squabble, and they carry off back into the forest. Or out of the town towards the forest. My bad, you're still a bit away from it.
Okay.
You rest your watch. Nothing else approaches the town. The wind dies down. Everything. The floorboards stop creaking.
Okay. Alright. As the sun starts to crest, Sayar will begin doing her morning workout routine.
Morning calisthenics.
Yep, but it's with armor.
Alright, a little extra resistance as you guys wake up to the sound of like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my
Sayar's
gosh.
over by the doorway, like doing some push-ups. Push-ups. The cool way of saying push-ups. A friend of mine told me. I don't know. I'm cool.
Well,
Anyway.
like most of it is like practice for war. So like soldier forms and
Military.
Morning
military
basic
training.
exercises.
Yeah.
As well as I assume prayers for spells and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Same spells, but
Everybody wakes up,
Yep.
feeling fully rested. All of the previous soreness from the getting hit by spells and guys trying to bend bars, you feel a little bit better there. Like your shoulders, it's scabbed over. That cut you had from that arrowhead, it's closing. Not great. It's still a little tender, but you're good. It's cold on the floor. The fire went out in the middle of the night.
Just immediately I break off more wood and start fire again.
Alright. Slowly a morning fire is started. As the sun is rising, there's a bit of a early morning mist outside the town. Just a regular dew, fog sort of deal. And the sun is slowly rising over the hills towards the coast.
Ren would like to go outside and see if he can find anything he can use for breakfast.
Alright.
Breakfast.
So make a survival check while the rest of you.
I also want to go outside, but just
12?
more to
12.
be in nature.
You do find a larger rabbit, but the arrow does break.
Arrow breaks.
We are watching Sayer's morning routine, just wondering.
Of overt physical prowess. Sailors would wake up and throw up. What?
Walk in. Good morning to Balasa because she's tending to the fire.
Morning. Did you have food?
I caught something.
Cool. We can eat it with cheese.
You have cheese. You have cheese and you didn't tell me about this.
Yes, I have big wheel of
I
cheese.
mean, you were there when you bought it.
Just
oh, you were there when she bought it.
I must have forgotten.
I'm gonna
And so I walk outside and start skinning the rabbit.
Wheel of
Sayer
cheese.
is gonna go to Kore.
I'm outside.
And,
Outside.
How long of a little regiment of workout would you do?
Oh, it's no more than like a 30-minute workout.
Okay, then you still have a couple more minutes before you're done.
That's fine.
For everyone else to wake up.
When
Can I-
I'm done.
When we're done, we'll get to it. But everyone else, what you doing?
Can I look and see, like, are there any, like, wildflowers around?
No.
Not at all?
Unless you count like weeds, like
Yeah.
growing up dandelions and ivy crawling up the sides of buildings.
Mm-hmm.
She is a druid.
Derelic walks to both Ren and Sayer, just asks, anything to report from the night?
I didn't see anything.
Well, yeah, there was a dragon in the middle of the night.
Ah,
Lovely.
Yeah, we had a lovely chat. He gave me 25,000 gold. It was great.
That's I'm inside. Never mind.
I'm not sure we got my PC around his stats. Alright.
you should tell
While
Dad.
she's doing push-ups. While she's-
So nothing noteworthy. I'm gonna take it.
She pauses like mid-push-up and is like, no. And then keeps going.
Sorry I asked.
Moves into handstand push-ups.
Yep.
Oh my gosh!
Look what I can do. Ha ha. I know, he's got a voice.
How's that?
Back to the regular. You two, fire's set and ready to go. Put the sticks back up and a little turning spit.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you waking up or are you still dead
You
asleep?
sleeping in.
We're awake. We were watching Sayer
Right,
exercise, and now we're just comfortably sitting by the fire.
Alright, so Corey has walked outside looking for flowers.
How many do I find?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. To turn all the way to this.
Character sheet.
Yeah.
Gotta go all the way back to the character sheet.
12.
12. You find a decent amount. A couple of like dandelions and these little white poppy things sticking out of like little cracks in walls.
Okay.
About 4 or 5 of those.
Okay. So she finds them and she's gonna bring them back and just start like weaving them into like a little
Super dramatic breakfast music. Sorry.
flower bracelet.
Dun, 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 dun.
Just like it's just a little flower bracelet. She starts like braiding it or weaving it or whatever.
All right.
Would you say I'd be done skinning the rabbit now?
Oh, absolutely. So
Oh.
you'd be the point cooking when she comes back, and Saya, you're done with your exercises.
Oh, I wanted to have Balasa cook it and go out and look for spices while she was cooking it.
Well, she
I-
left before that, so maybe next time.
Never mind, so just cooking rabbit and cabbage again for breakfast.
Yay.
With some cheese.
And cheese.
And cheese makes everything.
We
Melted
pulls
cheese on the rabbit.
out one of the onions from his bag and just.
Wait, could I use some of that? I'm gonna put it on the rabbit to make it taste even better.
Thank you. Turn the spit and it falls off.
No, I start chopping it up. So
And what? It's on a spit.
No. Chopping up the onion. The
Okay.
rabbit's on the spit. I'm gonna mix the two with the cabbage, so we have like a little coleslaw type of thing going,
Aw.
and put some on the rabbit.
Sauceless coleslaw.
Yeah.
Correct.
But
So how's it gonna stay on?
what's gonna stay on? We're putting it on plates.
So you're chopping up, putting it on the plates. You're not putting it on the cooking.
Raw
I'm not putting it on the cooking.
I love raw onions.
He's eating
You're
them like
weird.
apples, so...
Is there like a pan or anything in the kitchen cupboard?
No, all metal are gone.
Oh, well, never mind. So we're having raw onion and coleslaw.
So while that's going on, I'm gonna grab Corey and be like, "Hey, can you help me with something?
I mean, it depends on what it is, but sure.
Come on." And Sayra's gonna lead Corey just outside in front of the house.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what weapons do you have?
You haven't noticed this before, but as she like brings her hands up, she has these leather / kind of metal, I guess. Will look like claws, but they're not active. So
Okay, great. And then you see her pull out from her belt pouch a like long strip of cloth. Then she ties it over her eyes and goes,
no.
"Okay, hit me."
You
you
have
want-
advantage on this attack if you choose so.
No, she does not.
You're blinded. What do you
No,
have?
she does not.
For what?
You don't.
I'll text you.
You- I don't want to hit you, Saya.
Come on, hit me.
You want me to fight right now?
Yes, it's
I
part of my
don't-
training. I need you to help me.
I don't think that's a good idea.
This isn't gonna help me if you're just gonna stand there. Fight me. Come on. Come on. I know you want to.
Oh, Saya, I don't usually fight unless provoked or unless it is necessary.
It's training. It's not even real
I
fighting.
don't train really either. I
You
just
should.
walk. I just exercise. I go out and run after animals.
You should.
Alright, mid this. What's everyone else doing?
Derelict, hearing this commotion, just steps outside to watch.
Alright. What are you up to?
Staring forlornly at the onion.
Alright.
Oh.
Red is cooking.
I am cooking
and
and
Melissa
say
is
nice.
tending to the fire. It should be fine by now.
Yeah, I'm just stitching onto my cloak, watching and listening to the people outside. I don't know if I can see them out the window, but...
Fast attack to start.
So basically, what Ren has concocted is a salad, a rabbit salad, cabbage, cheese, and onions.
It's just,
Actually
I slice
sounds
the
pretty
cheese
good.
up, put it on top of everything.
And I slide. You're watching me, so I slide you a bowl. Who else is in the house?
I kind of
Me.
want to actually try to make
I
this.
slide you a bowl.
So just the three of you.
Everyone else is outside. Don't eat
Uh,
like that.
Here, and I hand him a fork. Use this.
Okay, and now you stab food, and you put it in your mouth. No. Boy, put
Here's
fork
your piece
in
of
mouth. Like
Starts
that.
eating normally.
It's all just a guise.
This is what happens when parents don't teach manners because
Sire-
parents were
wait.
gone.
Sire Corey, you're not in the house.
No.
Derelict.
Well, we're
I
not
got
in the house
breakfast.
either.
I know. I'm calling
No.
outside.
Okay.
Alright, so those inside. Or let's go to the quick sparring round. So,
Come on.
discussing of stuff, you don't have advantage, but you have a regular roll, and we'll just have to see what happens.
This, you said this is
Come
going to it's going to help you.
Fight me. Come on. I won't even hit you. Just try to hit me.
Don't spit on anything that's going to. Okay.
Come on.
Fine.
You got this.
Pre-breakfast workout for those of you who are fitness nuts. This is not a good idea.
Do you want me to use the weapons or do you just want me to punch you?
Weapons. Come on.
Okay. So Kore flares her hands out and then brings them back in, and then these claws come out of the things that she's wearing on her arms.
The metal bracers?
Yeah.
The leather bracers?
Yeah. And so this is the first time, obviously, in the day that you've been together, that you see that she now has these really long weapons on her.
Make your attack roll, since you were clearly given the first of the initiative. I'm not going to make you roll for it, because you were told to attack first. As
idea.
Kore pushes the heels of her palms forward, flexing her fingers back, and then collapsing them back the alternate way. Her fingers flare forward, and from the leather bracers, these little spikes kind of shoot out. As she brings her hands back up to her normal position, these small little leather but metallic end couplets grab onto her fingers at the joint and put on these long metallic claws at the end of it. But only on the main fingers, not the opposing thumb. Just these little sort of noise.
Okay. So let's see here. It's not good. That is an 8.
Nope.
Swinging a miss. Corey just
Hesitant.
half-heartedly swing forward. Sarah just takes a step back, realizing that you're not even trying.
Come on, Corey.
You know I don't like to do this. Okay, fine. Do you want me to try again?
Yeah.
Of course you want me to try again. Why would you want me to?
This is technically combat, so we're going to move to combat music.
So 17.
Out of curiosity, I would stand up with my food to look out the window.
As everyone is now having breakfast and a show.
What are we watching?
They're fighting, play fighting, not real fighting.
Cora makes her second attack.
17.
Eat like
17?
that.
No.
Another just swipe. This time Sarah turns to the side, just passes again.
Does it look as though?
Oh my
Just
gosh.
keeps getting worse.
Oh my gosh.
So that is a 11.
Nope.
Continually just swinging forward and forward. Sarah hasn't even moved her arms up, just taking steps and moving her torso or waist to get out of the way of the attacks.
Same thing. 11.
Whoa.
This time, Sayra's going to use her shield to block the blow.
Okay.
This next one's a nat 20, so 24.
Ooh.
Alright.
Yeah, that hits.
So you bring your shield forward, and you feel the claws make contact with the shield, but then you feel the tension start to build at the tips of it, and all of a sudden leave. You're like, what? And you feel this attack from your back as the claws slash into your back armor. So you're taking a couple steps forward, you're going out to the side, taking a knee. Roll damage. And the dice are doubled. It's in that 20.
Why did you roll it now? That's your second nat 20 tonight.
Now, those of you who are watching, you watch as Sarah brings this shield forward, and Corey's claws strike into it. But then her fingers crawl up, grab the shield, and using Sire's own strength of holding her shield up, flips over Sire and coming down, claws onto her back.
Is it
9.
blood?
A little bit.
9 damage.
Okay.
Do you
You
have
see
your armor
Ren
on?
turn away a little bit.
You have your
Of course I
armor on.
have my
Okay.
armor on. Why do you think you weren't hitting me?
Yes. Right after the long rest. PvP. Let's do
Let's do it.
Giant shows up, you all die.
TPK.
Okay, so
Rude.
Kore's blood rate is, her heartbeat is starting to go up, and she's... I think we should stop now. I think we're done.
Sayra stands up and she's like, still with the blindfold. We should keep going. But I understand.
Anybody else want to intervene, or are you just watching this
So she
weirdness?
takes off her
Ren's
blindfold.
turns back at this point.
Practice makes perfect, I yell from the window.
That's true.
Alright.
Nice
dodge, Blondie.
That's a
gnarly
gnarly
weapon
weapon
you
you got there, Corey. Where'd you get it?
A friend made them for me.
Okay.
And she flares her hands back out, I think it is. Yeah, she just holds them still, and they retract back in.
So they just kind of pop off of her fingers and just slide back into the leather bracer.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Alright.
I'm sorry that I hurt you, but you asked for it.
No, you did good.
I don't like that.
As I assume you guys are going to eat breakfast and back on the road.
And I'm done.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, as you guys can carry on with the morning routine, finishing up eating, and you watch as Saya repairs herself, you guys strike out on the path again towards Meladir. You guys continue for most of the day. Would everyone please make just a standard perception
Fantastic.
check, or you pick one person with advantage. Either group checks work in one way, you pick one person have advantage, or I take a pass-fail sort of ratio from all of you.
22.
Which
I
are
think
we
we have
doing
to
first?
pick before we roll.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. 22. No longer.
Well, it seems like we're all doing separate then.
Yep.
Let's do it.
So does that still
I don't
count
think
then?
we're at
It
group
does.
status
Everyone's rolling.
yet. To trust each other.
Rolls a natural,
Yeah.
rolls a bad roll. So that's 10.
Why did
I look over to watch Joey, and it's a 3.
That's
okay. I shouldn't watch player dice. It scares them.
10,
Alright, so going across 22.
22.
8,
10.
17.
25.
6.
Alright. Wow. You guys have it. You guys continue your path and don't find anything super interesting. You, however, do find a couple herbs, stuff you can use to spice food, but it's not like, oh, this is super fantastic. It's just like, oh, it's just something we can cook with.
Any like mushrooms or other like garlic?
Not garlic. You find a couple mushrooms that are inedible.
Okay, never mind. Don't eat those.
Yeah. As you guys' journey commences, you make it about to midday of mostly the grassy hills and the moving plains. And about your midday stop and resting, eating some of that hardtack and some of the cheese and whatever provisions you have, you notice the forest is within sight. And you're like, oh, okay, cool, we can get there. And now you notice the path the whole time, leading off from this little city, the small grayish pebbles used to denote where the path is. You know, it's like the grass tend to avoid growing near it. And that's where the nickname the charcoal path gets its name. You know, the little gray pebbles keep it barren and slightly lifeless so people can have a direct path. It's wide enough for a cart or like a carriage or like a horse drawn, maybe 2 horses wide. But not 2 carriages. You know, if you have 2 carriages coming opposite directions, one have to pull over and help them back out. Or, you know, not a great traveler's road on like multiple people crossing. But as you guys begin approaching towards the forest, it's about midday. The clouds have scattered a bit. It's still, you know, partly cloudy. Occasional one move past the sun and, you know, block over a little path here with some nice shade and cool breeze. But when the sun comes back out behind the cloud, it stays temperate, not warm, not cold, just this very neutral temperature. Entering into the forest does make it a bit colder now as you pass into the canopy of the overhead trees. Large, heavy, like oak sort of thick-rooted and thick-trunked trees moving into the forest. It starts more, you know, slight and then sporadic and eventually builds stronger and stronger as you've now entered into the middle portion of the Broken Woods. The path remains pretty true. The trees around the path have been sort of cleared out. It's a regularly traveled place. There's a couple occasional game trails that split off from it. You hear lots of like rustling small creatures moving out of the path as you continue forward. The smell of the forest is very lively and slightly invigorating as you're brought back with some more energy, and the day continues to pass more or less uneventfully. And you won't want to do anything as the day continues your second leg of the journey.
Kore is walking her full speed, just happy to be back in the woods.
So does Ren. But he's also, you know, keeping an eye out just in case there's any bigger game he could catch. Just in case.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Or just continue to travel?
Traveling for Sayre unless someone wants to talk to her.
Also, we can't become lost here because this is my favorite terrain.
Great.
Yeah, there's a path.
I know. Just in case, though, because you never know what could happen.
Clearly marked and trodden down.
And also, if I do find food, I get twice as much as I would, which is pretty cool.
The path continues.
Derelict was
Go for it.
Yeah, he's gonna go to Kore. So how did you get roped into all of this?
It's a good question. And Balasa just came up to me in the street and asked me if I knew the symbol. That's what she remembers from yesterday.
Balasa being the
The rug, as you all seem to call her. the common way that we know about her. But I was here in the city for business purposes.
and you're still here because
I don't know. Maybe that you can help me find someone too. You all seem to be excellent trackers, as we all keep saying. So maybe you can help me find somebody or a group of people I'm looking for.
who are you looking for?
Some people. I have my secrets. I will keep them. Maybe at another time, when we have finished with other comrades and their quest. Mine is not time sensitive.
Mr. Super Tracker Man.
Yes.
You notice that in the more foliage areas, there seems to be a path heading into the forest, but staying close to the road. Like, it's not like game or forest dwelling naturally. It's very much like someone just charged into the wood, just broken twigs and pushed apart bits of foliage, fallen leaves, bits of tree that have been scratched off. If you notice it, it's not super obvious, but with your trained eye, it's like something that doesn't usually live here is here.
So I'm gonna stop it. Like, that's odd.
What's
What?
Just your perception check was pretty high. So
This. Do you see this right here? These trees. Look at this.
Yes.
Do they look any different to you?
Would they look any different to me, or?
well, everyone, please make a perception check.
Another one?
And those who don't care about the tree, please take it at advantage.
Oh,
Those
okay.
who don't care about
Those who are not looking at the tree.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was bad. Either way.
17.
17.
22.
17. Alright!
I guess you know it.
9 with advantage.
Showstopper.
22.
You're looking at the tree, right?
That was not adventure.
Sarah doesn't care about any of this.
She does not.
So those of you like peering at the tree and Ren's pointing out parts of it and like the path that's led up to it, the rest of you that are like, oh, tree, whatever. You hear this sound, just this human voice, like this voice calling out further into the woods, and you hear other sounds like large things being broken and metal hitting onto things, just this.
We hear fighting.
Do you think we should go check it out?
My ears perk up. And I don't think that
We're
is
pretty
something
sure
we
it's
want to run
fighting.
into.
I'll go check it
It
out.
sounds like screaming.
Wait, who's screaming?
I'm interested.
The noises are getting louder. It says, just crashing,
It is definitely
wood
screaming.
and metal.
Is it
coming?
coming in our
Also,
direction?
no, it's just getting louder, and you also hear now with it just this, sort of like this pack sound of smashing and just impact further down the road.
So Ren wants to go do his recon stuff, stealth over there, maybe like climb in a tree and like pew pew through the trees.
Okay, Mr. Forest Spirit. Make an acrobatics check as you're climbing the tree. What's everyone else doing while Ren starts climbing a tree?
We is talking to himself. Have we ever heard something like that before? Well, we think it sounds familiar, but what would it be? What? We have no idea.
Strange. That's what it is. And so are you. Let's go.
So
This way.
Kore is like
Away.
getting ready to possibly like bring her weapons back out, but if anyone's watching, like you can see her hair standing out and her eyes are slowly starting to get like the pupils are starting to
Slip or get white.
go to slits. Yeah.
So
Yeah, cool cat eyes.
I got a 10.
Alright, Ren starts climbing, but like a branch breaks off. He's like, ah! Catches and hangs, and then pulls himself back up and gets up to the top of the tree. As the rest of you take action, what are you doing? It gives you time to do something while Ren scrambles.
Should we hide? We usually hide.
Saya's prepping for the fight. She's like, she knows
I say
something's
we
coming,
hide
so she
first.
slings her shield around
don't.
and readies her lance.
It's not coming towards you, it's just getting louder. Like it's still out in the distance.
Okay, well she's like, we need to go.
Alright, I'd like to,
Why?
once I'm
Why
up
are
at
we
the
getting
top, I'd like
involved?
to look around.
Yeah, I know.
Sounds like somebody could be in trouble.
And that's our concern because...
I don't really want to go to it either, but it seems to be coming to us.
That's what Kyle just said. It's just getting louder.
It's not. It's just
We don't know where
Okay.
it is.
Well, that usually means that something's getting closer, does it not?
She's right, From up in the
It
tree.
got louder, it's not growing louder. It's like quiet, then louder, and it stayed there.
Okay.
She's the only one with instinct here, the 10-year-old.
Oh, it's instinct, alright, but I don't. It's not the instincts I want to show.
Can I make my perception check now?
Well, if you're at the top of the trees, you still just see the immediate area. Just higher. There's lots of trees blocking the path. Whatever's going on is a little bit further than where you can see. You'd have to start moving towards it.
Alright, I'll start hopping from tree to tree.
Alright, that is
Yeah.
an athletics check.
Sayer follows the same kind of path towards the sound, but on the ground.
Same.
Athletics
behind
is
the
like-
same.
8, it's almost a 20 and just taunting you.
I know, but that's a 12, so.
Alright, 12. So as Ren, you kind of leap from trees and you catch on one, you're like, oh, I haven't done this in so long. And you're like, prep back up, get your stuff back into place, and look, and the next one is it's
Go,
like you're feeling
Dad, go.
all those like old, used to be toned, experienced muscles. All of a sudden, like, yeah, why wake us up now? And you're like, yeah, wake us up back in the tree. Just keep hopping. You eventually get warmed up to it, and you continue forward. You hear the of Sire just like charging, like semi the same speed. Being encumbered by armor and you having the experience in the trees, you're making about the same pace. What's everyone else doing right now?
I'm following Sire, but quieter.
Alright, stealthier and about the same speed. Cora's going as well.
Following even further behind, just more to keep eyes on people than to actually get involved. He's just stealthing.
Morning
through.
power jogger cutting through like the trees and stuff. Catch up.
We
Shadowy
are trying
man.
to stick towards Derelict more, but behind, like, so if Balassa's trailing behind Derelict, more towards Balassa, just in the back, and saying, we generally stay away from loud noises.
No.
That's a good idea.
So do
I will stay back here. Why? I'm staying. I'm not running.
Walking.
Yep.
Ren wanted to just go check it out by himself.
As you guys continue forward, you hear the noises getting louder and louder. This garbled like, and you hear like steel being swung. This as well as like the broken wood. You hear like creaking. The noise as you come into view. The sound of screaming is this. You now notice like a woman pinned under a carriage. Like one of the wheels is broken off and it's on top of one of her legs, and she's just like screaming. There's a man with a sword in front of him, and he's like taking defensive maneuvers. He doesn't look like a soldier, just regular traveler's clothes and this simple sword that he's got to defend himself. And on top of the carriage and fighting against him are these two things that are humanoid but stand above the average height of these two human people that are pinned down. They're roughly like 6.5, maybe 7 feet. They're stooped a bit. Their shoulders and arms are a bit thin, but like deeply cut and wiry. Their body is just this unkempt sort of blob, wearing like sewn together skins around the waist and these loose like fur trousers. They have this long, mangy black hair that twists and has bits of mud and stuff caught in it, and then this like thick kind of tuft of hair of like black fur across their entire grayish complexion of skin. You can see the sun is now setting as it's the later part of the day. The light sort of glinting off of the sword blade as it passes over across the face when the creature seems not even to flinch. As you see the skin and flesh around the eyes is completely sealed, like there's nothing there. Just completely like flesh, and the nose is slit and comes up closer to the eyelids, the mouth drooping down towards the chin and jaw with these disgusting, unkempt yellowing and blackened teeth as this thing just like it takes a swipe at the guy with the sword. He blocks and makes a cut into the creature, and it cuts and gashes open deeply. This rich purple, almost green reflective blood pours out of his chest, and it's like it goes and grabs onto the guy, and he stabs into it, trying to hold it off of him, the blade sticking out of its back. You guys are now approaching as the second one that's on the cart leaps down and just grabs the man by the head and by the shoulder, just bites into his neck and throws him to the side. As his body falls, the other creature with the sword in it remains standing for a second, looks down at it, like touches at it. The other creature's like, and it just slumps to the side, dead. And the woman in the carriage is screaming out of her mind, just like, ah! And she's like trying to get herself out, and she sees it, and the creature then turns to where she's at. Not looking directly at her location, but like starts moving towards around where she is. And now you guys get there.
Ren's gonna knock an arrow and aim it straight at the creature's head.
Alright, we're gonna roll initiative real fast.
Where, like, how far back are us trailing?
See, you guys are walking, you're about 50 feet away, 30. These guys are in the immediate
So
action.
yeah.
That would be
Power.
15.
Kind of hanging back.
Yep.
I wasn't interested in engaging.
Alright.
I
do this
do
anymore.
have a spell with a range of 120
With
feet,
Cassie
so I don't
Dora, I
need
always
to get
roll
that
Just
correct.
like- Go Iron Man up in here.
Did anyone beat 16?
Yes.
I equal
15.
16.
I got a 15 too.
Alright, what's your dexterity
Oh
modifier?
man, that was
Plus
bad.
3. Plus 3? Okay, so
I got a 21.
Oh.
What is this kid's modifiers?
You're gonna have to spend your first turn catching up.
Hey, who else got what?
15.
15?
15
I got lower.
Which of you has the higher dexterity modifier?
Him.
plus 5.
Okay, so Ren, then Sire. Did anyone get in between 16 and 21?
Turns out I rolled 22.
Okay, 22 for Balassa. And then Kore is
14.
whopping 14. So first to act is Balassa.
Why?
Also the first initiative.
Still catching up.
So, what can I see from where I'm at?
You can see this large gray humanoid thing reach down and pick up this large like hip bone. It's like sewn to the, like at the top. just strapped together to this long femur. At the end of this hip bone are these small spikes just like jammed into it. And he starts moving. His arms are longer than the torso, and it bends down to this stoop, one hand on the ground, its feet and one arm out holding this device. And it moves, its hand first, then 2 feet moving towards this woman pinned under a carriage, screaming her head off.
Well, I'm going to just shoot firebolt at it.
Alright, is that a ranged spell attack?
Yes.
Alright, make your attack roll. On deck is we. Or they. Or us.
We don't know.
So,
Plural. You're up next.
so there was a man fighting
Who
this
is
thing
dead,
Not
yeah.
who died, killing the other
First
beast.
one, yeah. And the carriage is broken and on the woman, pinning her down with the leg. And she's trying to get out of the way as this thing's moving towards her.
I only rolled a 10.
As you shoot off the fireball, the little finger gun, it flies and impales a tree, like striking into it but not setting it on fire. There's just this dark mark about halfway through it. The creature's head turns like, and next is we. Nice stretch.
You're welcome. Can't see or hear me, so
50 feet away, we are going to kind of...
Very dramatically.
We are going to very dramatically run towards the nearest tree and hide behind that. And
Alright, so that's a stealth check for your action, I believe.
okay.
Oh, it's just
get
dexterity.
back, we child.
You wee child.
You know what? That's actually what it is now.
Get out of here, you wee child.
Oh, the NPCs are gonna have this accent now.
Hi, wee
Stealth
laddie.
check, right?
Magic
Swore
shop
not
would
to
like
all
to
of
buy
them.
this lucky charm. Magically enchanted.
That's a 6
Alright, is it to hide?
to hide.
Okay.
And that thing that I have, would that be an action to use?
Which one? Red or blue?
Neither. The other thing. The item.
Oh, the item. Yeah, it's an action.
Okay, I've already used that. Then in that case, I'm unsuccessfully hiding.
Hiding behind a tree, the little horns poking out the side. Like you hide behind this little like willowy aspen, just like half your form sticking out behind it. Like we can't see them, they can't see us. We're good. Next is Derelict. You're up.
All right. Do I see
farthest away
him
people.
unsuccessfully hiding?
Yeah, you see him. You're about halfway between them and it. Oh boy, this is gonna be a confusing campaign.
All the pronouns.
First casualty of the game will be grammar. All right.
Oh.
I think I made that joke last time. I'm running out of material. Carry on.
Derelict is going to pull from his pack his favored weapons,
Alright.
and then he's just going to backtrack near to we, them, us plurality over here.
Anyone that can see, Derelict pulls out these two kind of jagged, long, almost like a butcher's cleaver mixed with a knife. Just these heavy knives connected to chains. They're still in his pack, and he just kind of walks over to the tree. Derelict does that, and it is now the creature's turn. It's gonna make an intelligence check to figure out what is going on, which it does not, and it moves closer to the woman. And
Dang
like,
it.
as it grabs onto the cart and pushes it down, she just keeps screaming even louder, and it raises its club and swings at her. And
Uh-oh.
since she is prone,
No.
Oh no! I was hoping.
has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Good grief.
5, not great. 6.
This thing I think just missed.
Yeah, it's like
it swings and hits the cart, and like one of the bone gets stuck in it. It's like, spends the rest of his time pulling it out. The woman that saved is just screaming, just like, trying to get out of the way. As next, it is Ren.
all right. I have a bow, an arrow knot.
Throw my bullet.
I'm going to shoot an arrow at it.
All right,
I'm aiming for the head.
all right. You make an attack roll and you add
Natural 20.
Hey, all right.
So that would be a
The only
20.
guy actually.
Make the damage and double the dice,
All right,
which
that's,
is like a D6. I think.
that's a D8.
Oh,
That's a D10.
Playing this game for a while now.
Ooh, that's an 8.
Why are you rolling it twice? Oh, because it's
Critical.
Okay. I normally just times it by 2.
So let's do that.
It's up to you, man.
So 16.
It's normally you add multiple dice.
Yeah.
Oh.
The rules specifically say to roll double the dice.
Roll double the
Oh.
dice. Is that what you want me to do?
I always just times it by 2 because it's typically higher, but you can do whatever you want.
Well, times by 2 is higher, so
Let's make that a rule.
You times the dice by 2, but you don't times like other modifiers.
I'm not adding any modifiers to it.
Okay, let's shoot at the end of the attack. Add your dexterity to
Add my
roll attack.
dexterity to it. Okay, at the end,
Yes,
then
it's like when
16
someone
plus
punches
whatever.
someone, they add their strength.
So that's 21 then.
all right.
21.
Watch the arrow just kind of sticks out of the back of the head through the mouth of the creature, like falls forward, and he slumps onto the carriage. The club dropping to the ground, its body like adding weight onto this woman's like carriage, pressing her. She just starts screaming even more. I scream louder, but there's people around.
Sire!
Seeing that,
It is Sire's turn next if we're still in initiative. So yes,
I'm gonna sprint to the carriage, grab the thing,
Yep.
throw it off the carriage, and then start trying to lift the carriage to get her out from underneath it, and call back to the others, "Help me!"
make a strength check. As you just grab it, she's like, "Please, get it off, please!" You
Ren's
can
gonna
see
hop
there's just
down.
like this rich pool of like dark liquid seeping into the road around her as the carriage is like into her legs.
17.
You just lift it up nice and easy, and she pushes her way out and swings her legs and just drop it. And you can see that the carriage had cut these massive wounds into the tops of her thighs, and she's trying to like hold it still.
I'm gonna do a medicine check to stop the bleeding.
Alright, as you start getting into that, Cora, you arrive.
Okay.
Ren's gonna hop down from the street.
Alright, on Red's turn, he will.
Yes.
She's going to look around and see if there are any other threats around.
That is a perception check. Or search is perception or intelligence, depending on where you're checking. Yeah, this is a perception check.
Okay.
DM screens are super handy.
Okay, 16.
Not only do they hide your rolls so you can lie, but it gives you stats. I'm just kidding, I don't lie to you guys.
16.
16. You check around, and you can see that around the carriage in the forested area, there seems to be more damage to the foliage, where you see more of those gray bodies slump, but other, like, regular civil mortal race bodies as well. Mostly human from what you can tell, and the passage continues into the forest, but there's nothing around. It seems like you caught at the tail end of this.
So there's more-
So long.
There's more human bodies in there too.
Human and this creature as well.
Okay, first off, she's going to check if the guy is still alive.
Alright, so for the rest of your turn, the guy is not alive. We're going to exit combat and get back into it. Those of you chilling,
Well, assuming
It looks
that.
dead.
What?
It is dead.
It looks dead.
Yeah, I
It
think
is.
assuming that it's
Think
dead,
of
we
it.
can go over
But-
to see what the heck
And we're
happened.
back,
Oh.
so you guys can't hear us.
finger gun of doom over here.
It's just point at what I want dead, anyways.
Yes, you're 1d6 of damage.
It is actually a D10.
Alright.
And then I'll point my wand really hard.
Alright, but back at you guys.
Well, what are your thoughts there, Ellie?
Smart move, kid. It'll keep you alive.
This is agreeable. Okay, well done. Moving on.
Alright, back to those with the crying woman who's trying to stop the bleeding on her legs. Medicine check to see if you can stop it.
Trying. Ooh, 25.
25. You stop the bleeding. You're able to wrap it and compress it. Like hold there, and she holds, and you just like squeeze it together, like the loose muscle tissue in the skin, and just do a little prayer, and you hear it just kind of slightly heal.
Mm-hmm.
And the bleeding stops, but then you just quickly wrap it again and move on to the next leg, pull it together. Now you're not able to get the energy through to it, but you're able to wrap it, and the bleeding stops coming out. But then Ren appears at this time.
He looks away from the wounds. He's like,
Make a Constitution save.
that is a 2.
Ren turns around, is like. All of breakfast comes up.
Oh.
Corey, you are checking the other body.
I'm onions.
Make a
Yes.
medicine check for me, please.
Fresh.
Medicine.
Wait, first let
Wisdom.
Okay, I'm good at that.
And if you're proficient, you add your proficiency.
Okay. Oh, hey, look. Oh, wait.
You're not.
I'm not. So that's 14.
14. He didn't seem to have received any, like, toxin from the creature when it bit, but it did sever some vital arteries and veins, and he has bled out.
So he is dead.
Yeah, just the one massive red wound where the neck connects to the shoulder, just laying there, eyes wide open.
Okay. She'll turn him over and just like put his arms across his chest, and if there's any like large foliage around, like leaves or something, she's gonna put it over his face.
Before I get to the next part, you guys are still chilling in the back. You're gonna slowly catch up.
Probably slowly approach.
Yeah.
Slowly approaching. So as you're treating the woman, she's like, as the pace subsides, she kind of like grabs your arm. She's like, please, you have to go get him. You have to help us, please.
Calm down.
No, they took them. They're that way. You
I'm
gotta
gonna
follow.
lightly slap her face. Kind of like mild shocker. Like, calm down.
Please, I have my son.
What
They
happened?
took my son. They took him that way in the forest. We were just traveling. And they came out of the woods. They looked like rocks.
Do I
They
hear
thought they were
this?
rocks. They came. They grabbed. They ran. We tried to help them.
More of these things?
More of those things.
Is that what left all of this carnage behind? But they were
Yes,
with
please,
you.
you have to go get him.
They were more with
That way,
you.
please. And she just kind of passes out.
Does Balasa hear this?
Those of you approaching, yes.
Wait, her son?
Instead of letting her fall and hit the ground, I'm gonna like catch her and lay her.
I'll
on
lay
the
her down.
ground.
Okay, she's still breathing. It's shallow, but it all caught up to her. She's
So
Yeah.
if we need to go get her son.
I'm gonna grab like a blanket or a cloak of one of the laying around and
okay.
make a makeshift pillow for her head.
There's like some coats on some of the more human bodies that have been
Yeah.
cut and rended. You take
Yeah.
scraps and wrap them together and ease them under her head. Try not to wake her.
Yeah.
Just put her there. You kind of move her towards off of the road, towards the carriages.
Yeah.
Riding it so it's level. Lift her up. Put her on it for a second.
Yep.
This is when you also notice that the body of the horse is like broken on the other side between the road and like the forested area behind the cart.
You weren't about to give us a free horse and cart.
God dang it!
That's the takeaway.
Yeah, would have been great.
I was thinking we could get a cart now, but no.
Yes, cart of the massacred merchants. All right.
So, Kore, and so we all see the horse, right?
What? I wanted
just
to
Sire.
be useless.
Okay.
I'm
The
gonna.
sire's over by the cart taking care of this lady.
Yep. I'm gonna stand up. And I'm gonna
Oh,
turn around and face everyone who's there and go. We need to go get her son. I don't care what you do. I'm going. And then she starts walking in the
Wait,
direction.
hold on.
Derelict is already running off in this direction.
I was definitely ran.
Yeah.
Everyone just trying to
Everyone's
point
just
like,
going.
wait!
Okay,
Running and Wee stops and looks at you because Wee's not as
what
fast as
is
everyone.
there might be more of these things. Okay.
She
said there were more of these.
Counting
Yes,
on
I
this.
know, but like right in his vicinity. That's the thing. I'd like to be prepared.
That's why we should stick together as we continue.
Charges.
Okay.
Being
Okay.
raged.
Point of order
Both of
question.
heat,
Can I
she just
run
runs
on all
forward.
fours if I'm not shifted?
Yeah, but it's not as good as when you do shift. You are much faster when you shift.
Gotcha. I'll just start running. Not on all fours yet.
Well, as a druid, you have much more proficiency in this area, so
Uh-huh.
you are faster than everyone.
Okay, so I catch up real quick.
Yeah, she has like a 35 movement speed that's unimpeded by anything.
I've got a 35 too, actually, as fleet
When
of
you
foot
catch up,
for
I'm
the
gonna say
arena
she's
would
safer
help.
than her son is
So-
right now.
So
Let's
it's
hope
like
that she stays that way back then.
Cat with T'Challa.
We're keeping up.
Alright, as Cora, you quickly catch up. Ren is in the lead, I assume, with this sort of marching order. Balassa's in the back with Wee because get caught on sticks a lot. You have lots of stuff that gets in the way.
Yes.
Sire's
Actually-
just charging through it, so you start moving into Sire's like wake of woodland. And they're like, I assume you're probably okay
You're like
moving
a
around
boat
through
in
this.
the forest.
As you guys charge forward, you start running through it, and you can see that the bodies of these creatures and these other just travelers eventually stop, not that far in, but the path that you've noticed of the creatures that carved through the forest continues. And you just continue following this path, and you run, and you guys are continue going. I'd like everyone to please make an athletics check.
Oh, baby.
Oh boy.
This is kind of a sprint. This is like a cross-country sprint.
That's a 3.
Woo!
Yes. Awesome.
Not the greatest.
22.
Nice.
Alright,
Not
Yeah.
natural 20.
20,
15.
15,
7.
7.
Get out, run.
You guys are fine. You guys are kind of exempt from this. This is your terrain.
Yeah. I did get an 18, though.
Alright,
I'm at fast speed.
I'd say the distance is enough to give you like a full point of exhaustion, but for the first ability check you make, you'll have disadvantage because you are tired from it. This is about a 15-minute just like charge through these forests.
Jeez.
As you guys continue, the woods get
Wait,
much thicker and start going uphill. What?
Difficult terrain. Is this difficult terrain? 'Cause- okay.
For you.
Huh?
This is for you.
Because it
correct?
says difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel.
Yeah, it doesn't slow your travel, but it does still affect him.
Okay.
It's just his
Just
physical
wanted to-
existence.
You can still point out stuff,
I am not
but it's
strong.
him still.
Yeah.
He's more of like your sneaky boy and not like your cross-country sprinter. Right?
Okay.
This isn't the track and field meet he's accustomed
With
to.
full armor, too.
Yeah, more of a javelin guy, not quite the 500.
I mean, I'm
Anyway.
not a freaking
Um, you guys continue
like,
to
a
sprint.
shield
I mean,
and armor.
Oh, yeah.
You seem like a runner.
Anyway,
Anyway, exhaustion.
As I should.
As the forest continues uphill and the foliage thickens, eventually it randomly just peels out. Like all of a sudden, you were just in this clearing, like a crescent moon sort of shape, above this rocky stone hill. And as you cross through it, the first thing you notice is that it's just like the sun is setting and you spent your whole day of travel. And the sun is now behind this rock hill structure, which is much less smooth and grass covered as the rest of this landscape. It's barren and slightly jagged and points almost like it's curved upwards. As you enter in this clearing, you see this small little, like, two patches of random, like, overgrown grass, just like this wild, used to be possibly crops, but it's just gone without control. Just these wild weeds crossing between what was possibly corn or wheat, the remnants of which are still throughout it, but just this massive tangle of vegetation in this clearing. These two patches with these four just random scarecrows, just in disrepair, sit hanging within it. Past that, you see this large wall. Behind it, a small fort, which seems to be built into the side of this random hill, this stone, rockish hill. From the distance you're at, you can see that it's in disrepair. These two, like, flattish portions with small archery turrets are positioned above a gate with a portcullis of broken pieces of metal. Just what used to be protective and like an ordered portcullis is broken and just been put back in place wherever it fits, some pointing upwards, some sideways, just this crisscrossing mesh of metal bars blocking the path in. Part of the wall, as it gets closer towards the hill, just has these large overgrowths of ivy and these like thick vines growing all over it. You can see past those bars in the courtyard of this fort, which has a main keep and a side sort of smaller building. There's just broken carriages and this massive gnarled tree twisted to the side. As the path continues forward and then past these bars. And that's when you lose track of the path of the creatures. What is this place?
Did she mention which way she
very
took
fast.
the boy?
This way. And Sayar starts walking towards the path to the bars. Prepped, expecting to be attacked at any given moment.
Ren follows behind her.
Where are we?
Beats me.
What?
Beats me.
Oh,
We are here.
yes, we are.
Well, we need to find wherever this is because those creatures did not seem to take long to, how you say, take out their prey.
No. But do we hear
Yeah.
anything?
These are
Just
beasts.
the rustle of the wind and like this small guttural like noise coming from the fort, just like, and it quiets out. And you just hear the creaking of these scarecrows on their wooden posts. Just the wind kind of pushes them, swaying. There's no actual breeze coming through here with all the forest, but they still sway. Probably from air being disturbed by the creatures, maybe, is the guess by the trackers, maybe.
I am unnerved, and I shoot fireballs at one of them.
Alright, make your attack roll!
Oh, dang. That's a 11.
11, please roll damage. And with the total. And it's also like the wind, like, you see the scarecrow as it rolls by, the head just this like sack with bits of straw sticking out of it, and these red stones sort of like sewn into where the face should be. Little bits of the fabric have been straight apart with this horrifying smile that stretches across it. Its arms out and slightly limp at the elbows, being held together by rope holding it to this little cross sort of T thing holding it up. What's your total damage?
4.
4.
And it catches on fire.
Velocity's like, shoots the bolt forward, it hits this creature, and it like writhes, just snaps his wrist off of the thing and falls
my
forward.
bloody gracious!
Like, the flame starts to lick around it, and its top half falls apart from the bottom half, and it lands onto the field and starts with this one arm as the other's being currently charred up by the flame, starts crawling towards you guys. Just as the other scarecrow's kind of like, oh my gosh, trying to move, but are held still on these posts. The one gets closer to you. I believe the first initiative you were first, Sire.
I'm
What
in
do you do?
front. I'm gonna walk up and stab it in the face.
Make your attack roll. The creature's just
I had
charging
no
towards
reason
you.
to shoot
These
that.
things are alive?
Yes, they are.
They are alive indeed.
And they are vulnerable to fire, so good choice.
Nice.
Can I shoot another one?
Yeah.
Okay,
That
shoot
is
the other two.
16.
16 to hit?
Yep.
Definitely hit.
Okay.
Fire out of a
And
carpet.
I do 11 damage.
Love you just. This head just kind of sprays with straw. And the flaming arm just reaches up and grabs you by the leg, and you feel as it kind of cuts into your calf. Actually, I have to roll to see if it actually does hit you first before I make that narration. It is a 9.
No.
The straw just like breaks off as it hits your armored leg. The hand just kind of falls into the ground, but it keeps like trying to get at you. As the other ones are still struggling against their posts, Balasso fires another one.
Can I
Makes it
shoot
to it.
both?
You can make one because it's not your turn yet.
Dang it.
As
Oh
you
my
fire off
gosh,
another one.
why
The rest
is
of you guys, I'm gonna go back to the old initiative order since it's still relevant.
I'm last. Dang it.
I think
Just gonna
it's
tear this page out real
11.
fast. 11 hits. Their armor class is not great. They
Yeah.
are pieces of straw.
Beastly things.
I can't find
sad.
it. That's not good. Ah, there it is. Alright. Make your second attack roll.
5.
Your second attack roll was 5 or your damage was
No,
5?
the damage was 5.
Damage was 5.
Oh,
Alright, as the
did I
second
get
one
to
hits
shoot
it,
again?
it hits in the chest and starts to pull it apart, and like the two arms just detach and fall limp, and the head, now free from the stress of the body, the whole lower body and the head just fall forward, and it lands on its feet and begins running at you guys. Just you see the straw start to pull apart, and little like worms and insects crawling around, just sprinting forward as fast as it can. The next in the initiative order would be we, they, us, them.
All of the
He,
pronouns.
it's you, formal, plural. Conjugation chart. You're
As this thing is charging towards him,
Gorgeous.
we just kind of goes.
Whoa!
Bolt of force energy fires out of his finger.
Eldritch Blast.
Yep.
Gosh, that was terrifying. I might have to roll Constitution for
And you
that.
all hear, like, even that low thing that there's as the little purple
7 force damage.
7 force damage as it hits it, rips its side open, it continues running, but now it's like leaning to the side, its body's swaying as it charges. The other two still struggling on their posts. Next it is Derelict's turn.
How close is the one charging us?
I don't know,
It's
what-
like
what was it?
12 feet off now.
Okay. So, as soon as it's come like 2 more feet, or he might just come take 2, like a couple steps forward, Derelict, with the chains wrapped around his arm, unleashes one of the blades and just swings down and tries to cut through it.
As the blade just.
That's
I guess it is.
that's a 5.
But as you swing it, the creature just kind of like leans, and the blade misses it, and keeps running. And his body comes back up.
Oh.
You have a second attack.
He's gonna do it with the other one. And that's a 9.
It's a 9 total.
Rolled.
Huh? Yes.
Alright, the second blade misses, and now it's just charging straight at you. Both your blades out. As you pull them back to return them to your hands.
To the club.
It is now its turn. It runs forward and just jumps and bites at you because it has no arms. Actually, it can't. It doesn't have a bite attack. So as it runs forward, it's gonna look at you, and you see as the stones kind of like light up, and you see in the back of your mind a face tattooed with a skull around it, and, this, and you have to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's 4.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
Joey.
rolling well.
I mean, Derelict.
You all watch as Derelict tenses, frozen in place, as the thing just keeps charging at it. Closing the distance, it's almost to him. It's not very fast. And the other one, which is on the ground, is going to try to grab at Sire again. We'll see how that goes. That's a 16 to hit.
Nope.
It's going to try again because it doesn't have a face to use the glare.
Gosh, boy.
Natural 20!
Yeah.
So it reaches up, it grabs you at the back of the knee, right where like that soft part of skin is, and cuts into it.
Rude.
Ow.
Not much, I promise.
Arrow to the knee.
It is 5 points of slashing damage. This music sounds like an arcade game. I mean, you were cut up this morning for practice, and this kind of feels like that. Like, you get an opportunity to attack, you twist your sword, and like, and it goes limp.
Lance.
Your lance, sorry, I forgot it was.
That's okay.
You have the sword as well.
That's okay, I do.
You just kind of twist it. That one goes limp. Next is Ren.
Ren's going to look at the one that's got derelict frozen.
Yep.
He's gonna knock his
With
bow.
no arms, like.
Knock his bow, and he's gonna aim for it.
Alright, make your attack.
23.
Alright, that hits.
That hits. Forgot to hunter's mark it. Whoops. Oh well. So, wow, that's gonna be 13 damage.
Hits it into the chest and just kind of like keeps running. Now it's like not only tilted to the side where its body goes where its base once was, like folding an origami crane. Now it's leaning back, just kind of this, its head like limping back behind it as it runs forward. Its crazy clawed feet charging, still at derelict.
I don't think I have any.
I think you can still take a bonus action to attack. You don't have to reload it. You just draw it.
All right, I'll do that. That's that one.
It goes and like the body lifts as it's running, and it goes right through that hole. And just comes back down. It is now
Level 2.
Sire's turn.
Wait, what happened
Okay.
to me?
What is
Last,
the
friend?
What?
This was surprise
Oh,
round.
right. This is
what
the
is the
previous
next
initiative.
nearest enemy to me?
The one almost to derelict.
Okay, and that's the one with the skull
The other two are
tattoo?
still that was just what he saw.
Oh, okay.
The other two are still on their post, just kind of squirming.
Okay. Well, I'm going to I'm going to put my fist to my chest plate, where my holy symbol starts glowing underneath it. I stretch forth my hand and cast Sacred Flame on it.
Yeah.
All right, is that a save from it or an
Like
attack
that.
roll?
Fire.
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw for a thing that's dexterity is about average. It's an 18.
I believe that succeeds.
17 plus 1, yo.
Yeah, that succeeds. But
The power of the pink dice. It still takes half from a success.
no, it doesn't. It takes no damage.
All right, you just the fire streaks forward, and you just kind of once again, like ragdoll moves out of the way.
Then that's my
Completely randomized.
turn.
All right, now it's Corey's turn.
Okay. How far away is she from the thing?
It's a derelict. You were here, about 10 feet.
Okay. She's going to run up to it, and as she does, she's going to unveil her claws again. So flail out and then flow back in. Run up to it and then just slash it twice.
It does sound like a little bit like a shotgun. Just making 2 attacks.
Whoa.
Yeah, speed of it.
Wait, after this. This is 2 plus that, so the first one's 10.
10 misses.
11.
Okay, that's much better. That's 18.
That hits.
I was about to say.
This one's special.
Okay,
Evasion.
so 5 damage,
It's a rogue scarecrow.
and she's just going to be like hissing at it.
Just, as you carve down, it just kind of cuts in half. Flops. The little eye still looking up.
She's not
The
shifted
light
mode.
slowly fades out of them and just kind of sinks. Since you were still struggling against their post, just but seem completely contained.
She's slightly growling under her breath, but she's not shifted. So.
They're just sitting, still stuck.
Are we out of combat? All right, I'd like to go clip my arrows.
What can I do at this point?
Yeah, they're both fine.
Awesome.
Coda's gonna run
After
up
a
to
little
him.
bit, since it's dead, it does. Till the end of the Scarecrow's next turn, which now it's dead, you just kind of like. You feel like this grip on you wasn't yourself. Like this thing did this to you. And all your muscles loosen a bit, except for your hands, which remain just tight onto the chains.
Corey's gonna go up to Derelict as she puts her claws back. Are you okay?
Derelict is going to pull out Corey's knife that he never gave back. Look at her for a second, and then turn and throw it at the head of one of the guys still.
Primary attack roll. It's dexterity based because you know. Is that the same?
Joey.
That's a 5. Yeah, he's not doing good.
It just kind of sticks into the post. It's like struggling against it.
I'm going to shoot both of them again.
All right.
Why?
Just make your attack rolls.
Gonna knock him down.
Why did it roll all the time? Okay, 11.
That hits.
Okay, that landed. Okay, flat surface.
Better than 11.
Yeah.
Both hit, yeah. Are you hitting one twice or the two separately?
One twice. I want to
Alright, roll your damage.
That's 16
16 damage total.
fire damage.
Alright, as the flint hits the thing in the face, it starts to lick around it. The noise from it stops. It just sounds like this rustling. There's a and the flame slowly goes out, like across the arm, and starts licking at the bonds holding it. And it's starting to get close and snaps free. You guys have one more action before the other hand snaps free as well.
How far away is it?
About 30 feet.
Oh,
Your attack roll.
let's
It's an
go.
automatic hit. Or the damage.
I have to roll for it, but that is a 12 actually, I think.
That hits.
Man, it's
That
different
is 8
playing
damage.
things with
8
low
damage, it hits it,
AC.
and the hand snaps free and it falls and starts running towards you. Just and I think
Again.
it would then be Derelict's turn next.
Wait, aren't I supposed to add
Corey's
something to
standing in front of
damage?
him, just like defensively.
If you should be, then add it. But you haven't been. It's your up,
In
Derelict.
front of who?
Yeah.
You.
Gotcha.
The thing starts running towards you. Just it's not close enough to do that thing. It's good close.
He's just going to take both of his chain blades and just swing them both.
Alright, it's 2 separate attack rolls still.
Yeah, of course.
That's
But
nice.
dramatically, it's cool.
Okay, let's see. That's 19.
That hits.
Yay!
Back to your combo, baby.
And that is a 13.
Both hit.
Righty.
Yay!
It's got a certain amount of hit points left.
We want this thing dead.
Thanks.
Just saying.
It has a certain
It's 8 hit points.
8, did you add the modifiers?
For damage? What do I add for that? Strength. Strength. There's no difference.
It cuts into it, it falls to one on the ground but continues to crawl towards you. Just all the straw pulling out of itself as it gets closer to you. It's like this trail of just dry grass, really. Not really surprising. It's its turn. It gets up and it's just kind of grab at your leg. Try to claw it. Since you guys are letting these things free. That is a 6 to hit.
That does
Not,
not hit.
not even going to wait for a response. And that is a 11.
Nope.
Just. And it is now Ren's turn.
Ren's turn. Ren's just gonna
I'm
find a
just
place to
standing
hide. He doesn't want to fight these things anymore.
Alright, Sayar, you're up.
18 armor class.
Sayar.
Sayar!
Sorry, is it my turn? I thought it was your turn.
It
Yeah.
was, but he did nothing. You're up.
You doing? Jeez, okay. Well, I'm gonna run up to the scarecrow and stab it in its face.
Make your attack roll. It is prone, so disadvantage on attack rolls. Oh, unless you're within 5 feet. Attack roll, critical advantage, attack with 5 feet. Okay, yeah, you have disadvantage.
I do have
It has
disadvantage.
disadvantage, you have advantage.
Okay.
You have advantage, it has disadvantage.
That would be 13. Yikes.
Yeah, hits.
Okay.
Pretty sure the 11
Okay,
is the
Yeah.
Since
threshold.
those are technically finesse weapons, would Dex I imply dexterity to
4.
that instead?
I think, yeah.
Okay, so it would have been an extra 6 damage.
Yeah, because the dagger makes a melee, but the chain makes a finesse.
Wait a minute.
Sure.
Am I reading
So
that?
it would have
much
been
was your dex?
14 total.
14?
I might be reading that wrong. Nope. 4.
4. You just
4 damage.
stab at it. It moves its head real fast. Then you watch as Derek just pulls the chain back as the blade cuts through it. It stops. Catches his sword. His sword, not yours.
Yeah, I know. I'm flipping my lance.
Let's call it a lance.
Sorry.
Alright. Corey, you're up. There's still one struggling.
Is that one that's 30 feet from me?
That one's about 50 feet off. It's in the middle of the field. Not doing much.
I can't get to it. Yeah, she's not gonna do anything. She's just gonna stay and make sure that Derelict is okay from what she saw that happened to him. Actually, she'll probably go over and get her dagger.
Alright, as you're moving, please make a perception check. After Cora is back to Balasa, if you wish to engage the last one or just leave it. It's up to you. I have a feeling where this is going, though.
Okay, 14.
14. You pull the dagger out, but then you hear this, con. You see forms flutter off of this fort. You take a second look back, and they're larger than birds. The wings stretch out far.
Oh, no.
But then the bodies are humanoid and just kind of...
They're not coming towards us,
they
they're
just fly
flying
off.
away.
There's about 4 or 5 of them as they just pass out of sight.
Underneath her breath, she's gonna be like, oh, Kali. This just means bad. So that's druidic.
Got it. No one else notices?
Everyone that is still engaged in battle do not. But everyone who is done, oh, there you go. So, Sire and Derelict did not. Ren did, or I did. Depending on what you guys do with your turns, you do or do not.
Do I recognize what they are?
Make a nature check.
Nature.
Can I also make one to see if he knows what it is?
On his turn.
Okay.
Where did it go? No, intelligence.
Actually, you just wanted to
That's a 8.
8. It is really familiar. You know it's not a natural thing. It's more of a monster. Be like,
It's not good.
that's all you
So
got.
Kali, but Khan.
Yeah.
Got it. Good to know.
Nakale Kanwa.
Okay.
What? I made up a bunch of languages for this game.
It's druidic. Okay, so she'll come back over to anyone else who's paying
It's
attention.
Balassa's turn.
Okay, cool.
I am just glaring at the other one. If it looked good bird, it would die.
You look like one of these things with all your layers. You're just and it's just it's not very smart. I scared off your cat.
Bye, kitty.
Anyways, but I'm going to look towards everyone. Do we go into the place? What now? These things, why are they alive?
Don't know, but something else is around. Is anyone going to take care of that other one?
Are we
still in initiative?
These are just a hassle.
Okay.
It's not free. It's completely bound.
Do you think you could fire a bullet again and,
Sure.
put it out of its misery?
Aim for its head, though.
I will shoot twice again. Not
Aim
that hard to get
for
with.
Can't Chris, baby.
They're wonderful.
Sire's gonna add her sacred flame to it as well.
Alright, so yours is an attack or a dex save?
Dex save.
Okay, well, it's got disadvantage because it's
Nailed to a post.
well, let's hope it's disadvantage. Oh,
There's
that's
double
not
check.
great for disadvantage. I got a 13 and a 20. So 14 to save.
These things
It
want
doesn't take any damage.
They want to live!
Alright, now your 2 attacks?
So dumb. I hate this campaign.
I shoot twice again for
Whose ketchup is it?
16 and
Sacred Flame is great. What are you talking about?
22.
When they don't keep
The
resisting.
Yeah,
scarecrow's
that's it.
resistant, man.
Well, your DC is also pretty low.
12.
12 total?
It catches
we're
on
level
fire.
2.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Just so you know, it's vulnerable to fire. So whenever you
Our
say
DCs
12,
are the
it's
same.
actually 24.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
It says that it just hits and it lights on fire. Its form falls out of the wrappings and it completely on fire, ablaze, charges towards you. Just
This thing is...
it is.
Really?
Wee, you're up. Since Velasa decided to shoot another one.
This time we're gonna hide behind Balassa.
Okay.
Derelict,
It will
walking
die.
On my own 2 daggers,
With the
just gonna
rest.
throw those.
Alright, there's 2 attacks.
great. Not great. That is a 7.
Nope.
And a 19.
Yay!
Okay.
Like watching his dice, like
Praise
2,
be.
14.
It's a what, a D4 for your knife?
Plus dex.
Plus dex. So that
Hey!
is 7.
7 as it flies forward. Stabs into it. Towards you. The knife just like falls out of it. But you do notice something creepy this time. The knife is like coated in some sort of liquid. It's like a dark green, thick fluid. And it turns towards you. And it's gonna do the same wisdom saving throw to you again.
That is a 17.
Yay!
There you go.
You see its eyes as it like lights up, this weird reddish, like mixed with this weird white and black on the inside. You see the flames looking around it, and you can start to feel the heat around you. And you start feeling it in your mind. You're just like, and you shake it off. Next is Ren.
Ren. He is going to shoot this time from his cover. Hey, that is a 27 to hit.
Hey,
Yo!
that hits.
All right.
DC was 30.
Dang it!
Oh, the giraffe scarecrow.
Oh my gosh! Hello. That's gonna be 10 damage.
10 damage as the arrow just passes through it. You see this like mushy mound with some sort of like gelatinous stuff as the arrow flies through it and impales the post behind it. The scarecrow, still burning, drops.
Still on
And
fire.
as the flame continues to lick it up, as now it's just straw, it just turns into ash as it falls forward. And it's final.
See,
Is my arrow
Scarecrow
retrievable?
dead.
Yeah.
It's gone.
All right, I still retrieve it.
And I just like that thing just onto the ground.
What is that?
And it slowly starts to like sink into the ground around. It's just bubbles up and it sinks into the ground. You're like,
Oh,
look at your arrow and it's
practicing his
like
effects.
greenish.
Is it poison now?
I think it's
Test it.
I think it's just
Like-
gross.
It's just like I fire the gross arrow. So that's not 20. Dies it. You're willing to keep it or clean it or throw it away or lick it. I don't care.
Oh
I'm
no,
just gonna put it back in.
I'm gonna test if it's poison.
I'm not gonna do that. My constitution is crap.
no! That's the only reason, not like it's
Thanks
gross.
for sharing. All right, as the rest of you guys notice the dead things now. Just,
I'm gonna recover my daggers.
all right.
So is that last one different from them, or was it just the only one that let
You
out?
can check the other ones if you want.
Yeah, he'll do that.
I wasn't paying enough attention to care.
When you check each of them, they each have this weird lumpy mass somewhere different. The one that ran at you and you cut in half, it's like in its side. One of it was in the head, the one that just got stabbed. But the head is like all straw and gross because it got busted off with Eldritch Blast. So each of them has one of these little lumpy things, but you hadn't discovered it until the heart shot. They're all in different locations. But they have started to like bubble and sink into the ground. Like it's like
Whatever these
That's
things are.
vile.
I don't think that's good.
I don't think any of this is good. Did you see the things that flew from the trees?
I did actually.
No.
What were those?
Those were not. I don't know what they were, but I know that they're not good. Mm,
Do you think they have anything to do with these scarecrows?
Scare crows, probably.
Never mind that now. Weren't we looking for a kid?
Yeah, well,
Can
Sarah
we
goes,
figure out-
yeah, and then starts walking towards the entrance to this castle fort thing.
I believe you have something like that.
Well, we is just kind of behind Balasa, muttering under his breath. We've never done that before. What was that? We don't know. We just said the words and then we... What,
Little one,
what?
are you okay?
We're fine. We don't like those things.
I don't like them either.
I don't think any of us do.
Don't want to run into them
First
again,
time
though.
using
Can't
it.
say that it's not going to get worse from here.
No. First time using that, though.
Cool.
Do you know how to use that, or is it the other part of you that knows?
Well, we say Gurrensenba.
Maybe don't.
which way are we pointing at?
Just in the general direction of the building, like up high.
Alright, can you roll your damage for me?
The building dies.
That's a 5.
A 5. As it like sings forward, you watch it like arc, and it strikes some of the weird mishmash of portcullis, and then it shatter forward. and
then
this
that
enormous
happens.
noise.
Is that the only thing
You all
you
start
know?
hearing the sounds of, and you start feeling the ground kind of move a little bit.
Those are
And one of the doors kind of swings open in the side of the fort,
Oh, great.
and that is where we end for the night.
Good job.
I was wondering when. I was like,
gosh.
All right, so that was really fun. We finally got to the story. But for you guys, you may have noticed some interesting languages. For this campaign, we actually have quite a few written tongues that are particular to characters and classes. If you were paying special attention last time, you would have noticed a little bit of Thieves' Cant as well. These are available in our paid tiers of Patreon, a little extra support. If not, you can just write it down as we say it, I don't care. But we have it available for you if you'd like to just spice up your home game a little bit. Put a lot of work into it. It's a lot of feedback working with you guys on these things. And there's lots more to come. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you guys next week.
Woohoo!
Bye.
Bye.
What's up, everybody? This is Darren, and we're just so glad that you could be here listening and watching Heroes of Hearth-Gate with us. So, next episode should be coming out soon. Go ahead and look. Maybe it's already out. See you there.